ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jax presents Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
We're going to have to show a little more patience than the year two pom-pom people.
Kasey Kurtz.
Yo! Well, what are we doing, bro? Come on!
And Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! Get him! Hit him! Hit him! Hit him! Yeah! Boom! Jack! Boom! Yeah! Boom! Jack! Boom!
This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Kasey Kurtz, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
What is happening here on a Wednesday? A lot of activity right now around me here at UNF Arena on the campus of the University of North Florida as we take a look at this brand new arena with the floor and the Bank of England mortgage suite going up as we speak and going to be done by Saturday. I think they're going to put the finishing touches over the next couple of days. And we got practice going on right behind us, and that's why you just heard that horn. We'll take you inside a little UNF practice later on in like the 4 o'clock hour. And Matthew Driscoll, UNF men's basketball coach, will join us around 3:30 as well to get an update on them. Off to an 0-2 start after going out west, Gonzaga and Washington, and now they come back home for the home opener. We'll give away some tickets here on the show as well for that home opener, 5 o'clock on Saturday. They're excited about what's going on here inside this building. Brent Martineau along with Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kurtz back in the studio. You guys are about, I don't know, maybe a solid par 5 away from me, yet you feel so far away.
Well, for a solid par 5, I'm sure you'd reach us in 2 shots, Brent.
It just depends which way the wind's blowing and if I hit the cart path. Think we can get that buzzer to stop throughout the show?
I think it adds to the ambiance.
I feel like we're about to do a fire drill every time that goes off for a minute.
Got to hold that focus.
I will. It's going to test my focus. We are, of course, Kasey Kurtz is a UNF alum. He should be excited. He probably donated a bunch of money toward these renovations. Yep. Right, Kasey? They come calling.
I feel like the only place Kasey donates money to is BetMGM.
Whatever one he's on,
That's
right?
true.
Donations are up in 2022.
That's right.
For Kasey Kurtz. What's up, Coach Kennan? We're going to talk to more basketball as we go, but we always like to talk some football. It's a bye week for the Jags. Jags are kind of on their way. It was pretty interesting. Doug Peterson kept some of the young guys behind, gave the veteran guys, the extended holiday, if you will. And we've talked about this a lot. I think a lot of people think, hey, it's a bye week. They're going to get 2 weeks to prepare. They'll get a little extra jump on Baltimore, but it's not a major jump on Baltimore. We talked to Rasheed Mathis and Maurice Jones-Drew on that, and they'll be able to get a little bit on the iPads or the Surfaces or the whatever and plan if they want. But most of these guys use this as a time to step away, gather themselves, rest up mentally and physically. It is a long football season. It's a long football season for us and for the fans, especially when you're 3-7 and you've lost a lot of football games over the last few years. So it's definitely a long season for those guys playing it. The good news for the Jags is they are healthy going into this time of year where they can maybe make a late season push. And when you think about late season pushes, you go all the way back to 1996. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but we were talking with the guys down at Jags headquarters today. We put together All Access, which is going to be tonight instead of tomorrow at String Sports Brewery. Oh, I got a shot.
Oh, go get him, Brent.
Sorry.
Brent with the rebound and the pass.
I was a good chest pass, but I was a little out of range here.
I really would have liked to have seen the other side of that pass.
Yeah. Oh, the pass was beautiful.
So falls depressingly
In fact, let's see
short.
if he hits it. Oh, he missed. Could have gotten an assist. He missed. Dang it. Come on. Knock that shot down. All right. We were talking to All Access today, and 96 came up. And see, what happens here is like you're going to be like, oh, yeah, whatever, Brent, 96. These teams not rolling off 7 in a row or 6 out of 7. And I get it. I'm not telling you they're going to do that either. But inside the building, guys, can't you tell from like Rayshawn Jenkins talking, Christian Kirk talking, the guys in the locker room Sunday, if you heard any of that, Doug Peterson's message is, you guys are a good enough football team to beat anybody and win every week. Like, I think that's his message to the team right now. And so they still have belief that, hey, you know what? Let's go win them all down the stretch of the season and get to 10-7, or maybe it's a 9-8 and just see what happens. Like, that is the belief in that building. That's the message in that building, which I think is pretty interesting.
Yeah, obviously you want your guys to have hope and optimism regardless of the record and how you're doing thus far. But I think the 96 run is a good one to look at as we go to the second half of that season, especially because you're talking about a ragtag bunch of guys, up-and-comers. You know, these aren't established veterans all over this team, Pro Bowlers littered all over the roster. These are guys trying to make a name for themselves, really make a career for themselves. I think it's kind of similar to what you had going on over there in 96.
Well, that's a really good point there. Like, I didn't think about it from that perspective, right, where you've got a group of guys that are kind of new together and nobody expects much out of and they hadn't won. I was thinking about it more of a perspective of going on a streak at the end of the year. In 96, the Jags got hot there, and then they got a little fortunate, too, to get into the playoffs. But it was more what they did. They got hot. The other part you can't control. You've built yourself a pretty good hole. But I'm thinking more – that year, they were really close in games, Aaron and Kasey, like that. If you go back and look at that, like the games were tight. They lost a lot of one-possession games. And then they were able to flip it around. And by the way, they won a lot of one-possession games. And will I give you the best irony of all when we equate it to a 96 kind of run, if they could even resemble or think back or have positive thoughts about something like that? They started it with a win over the Baltimore Ravens back in 1996.
Yeah, only
in overtime.
Only by 3. But as a matter of fact, if you look at all of that, they actually started it with 2 wins over the Ravens, if you look at 6 of the last 7. But all of the wins they got towards the end of the season, none of those wins were more than 6 or 7 points. A lot of them were by around 3 points, so tight games as well.
Yeah, they learned to win, but it wasn't like, oh, my gosh, they got hot for 6 weeks and just blew everybody out. They learned to win those games. And look at the numbers before, Aaron.
Yeah.
Look at the losses. What were they? Like 5 points, 6 points, 3 points, right?
Yeah.
They were pretty close, if I'm not mistaken.
As a matter of fact, the one loss in that run was against the Steelers, 28-3.
Yeah, so they got hammered
They
there.
beat the Ravens 30-27. Then they beat them again 2 weeks later, 28-25. 30-27 win against the Bengals. 23-17 against the Oilers. 20-13 against the Seahawks. And then finally 19-17 against the Falcons.
And by the way, they gave up 20.9 that season, points per game.
Yeah.
Right now they're at 20.5.
Interesting. How much did they score, Kasey? Does it say?
20.3.
So you're ahead of that by a point, 1.3 points.
But what about do you have a rank there for points against? Because points for, they were about 14th, middle of the pack.
Yeah, points against that year, 20.9 was 19th. So
wow, so they're even better in the rankings, right? What's the Jags' points for right now in the rankings?
points for right now is 20.6, 21st of 32.
Oh, that's 21st. Okay, so that's not surprising, right?
Just
Because
goes to show you how
that
much more
number's gone up.
the NFL is scoring these days, right?
Well, I think that's that's pretty obvious. 25 years later, you would think they would be scoring more. But the Jaguars, in essence, holding a team to around 20 points is whatever it is. What's their ranking again right now, this year?
Which one? Sorry.
This year.
Defensively?
12th.
Yeah, so they were 19th back then in 96, and they're 12th or
Yes.
something like that, I
Yeah,
think, if
correct.
I heard it right. So, yeah, I mean, that's, again, listen, I'm not sitting here preaching to you. I just think it's interesting, one, that the Jags are saying it. Like, inside the building, the message. Doug Peterson thinks his football team is good enough, and it also shows you how he leads. Like, I think that's a tell right there, that everybody's saying it. If you listen to the sound, the message is the same. I've told you this before. You know you have buy-in from players when the sound bites in the locker room echo all the same way, because that's the way the coach is telling them. And so they all kind of say things that sound similar. Hey, the NFL, it's tough to win. We've got to figure out a way to win these close games. We've got to do it a little bit better. Once we do it a little bit better, we think we can win a lot of games. We can win 7 in a row. We can win 6 out of 7. We think we have the people here to do that. Like, those are things that we have heard that have been echoed the last couple of weeks, but specifically the last few days. And that is coming from up top. That is Doug Peterson. And so I think it shares with you, even in a 3-7 season where all does appear to be lost and draft pick talk is starting to happen more and more with 7 games remaining, that the Jags believe inside the building that they're still a good football team even though they've lost 7 out of 10 times. And Doug Peterson kind of believes that they are still a good enough football team to win down the stretch. How many that will result in, who knows? Some people think it might be just 2. Others think 3 or even 4. And nobody thinks it will mean 7, quite frankly. So I think it's just I think that's what the story is. And then we're looking back on 96 today to say, hey, it can happen. It does happen. the NFL is weird. The NFL is really weird this year. You've got the Buffalo Bills, who 3 weeks ago were the best team in the AFC, most likely people would say. And now 3 weeks later, people are starting to hammer Josh Allen, pick him apart. He's thrown multiple interceptions the last few weeks. He's fumbles on the 1 yard line. They are now the 6th seed in the AFC. And now, what's going on in Buffalo? Other than a big snowstorm coming in. So I still believe this, and we have said this, and I understand that Tennessee's good. They are not, like, so good that they're just going to win. It's not like you do have a Buffalo good kind of team that we think exists, or even a Ravens team that exists that has more potential than they've even proven, or a Chiefs team that exists in the AFC South. You have a team in the Tennessee Titans that certainly knows how to win. They get the most out of what they have, but they also are gettable. And if something happens to them where it starts to go amiss, well, that opens the door a little bit. For the Jacksonville Jaguars, who still play the Titans a couple more times. So, again, this sounds like I'm telling you it's going to happen. I'm not. I just think it's kind of a good thing that they think it still can happen.
You got me reminiscing on this 96 roster, and I'm looking over the offense and defense, trying to identify who the studs were, because it's tough, especially on defense. You got Kevin Hardy and Aaron Beasley, but they were both rookies. Clyde Simmons on that team. But the offense, obviously, with the makings, the foundation of what would become a really potent offense. Mark Brunell going to the Pro Bowl that year, by the way, with 19 touchdowns and 20 interceptions.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. Keenan McCardle, also a Pro Bowler that year, as well as Tony Baselli.
Pro Bowl was struggling that year, huh?
Is that one of those deals, and folks will remember this more than we will because I wasn't here.
I wasn't alive.
You weren't alive. But was that a year when Brunell, like, you know how they have guys that check out of the Pro Bowl, whether it's because of injuries or whatever?
You mean like a substitute, yeah.
Like Garrard got in there one year because of that, too. I mean, not to take anything away, it still looks like a Pro Bowl season. But 19 touchdowns, 20 picks, and he got in. I wonder if he was a late at. Somebody will tell us that, and you might even know better. I'll check into it. But I feel like that would have been somebody got bounced out, and they put him in. He was next on the list.
Makes sense, right? 20 interceptions for a Pro Bowl year must have been.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
On that roster,
again,
you had
that's a heck of a run.
Yeah, Brett Favre, John Elway were first-team all-conference guys. Steve Young, Drew Bledsoe, second-team guys. Gus Frerotte, Troy Aikman, Kerry Collins, Testaverde, and Brunell.
Wow.
Were the rest of that list.
A lot of guys had to get hurt or say, I don't want to go to the Pro Bowl, I guess. I mean, I would think that's a pretty heady list.
Yeah, man.
Hey, so, you just talked about something that's pretty interesting. You mentioned the rookies, and you also mentioned what it sounds like is a Mark Brunell quarterback who was finding his way and got hot toward the end of the season, I got to assume,
yeah,
right?
Got hot at the end.
And so, Trevor Lawrence is finding his way. Could he get hot down the stretch? ETN has found his way, it appears. Christian Kirk has really settled in this offense. But more specifically, to your points of the rookies, can Trayvon Walker take a step the last 7? Can Devin Lloyd find himself? Can Andre Sisco continue to play good football and Tyson Campbell play really good football that it looks like their trajectory is really up, arrow up for those guys? And then can Josh Allen really make a difference? But I'm talking more about the young guys, those 4 that I mentioned. Can those guys continue to excel where it doesn't feel like they're making young player mistakes? Instead, they are making bona fide big-time player mistakes because the guys you mentioned, Aaron, ended up turning into bona fide good players for the Jags.
Did. Oh, yeah. And led this team to some fruitful years following 96.
And listen, beyond all this, like, 96 talk, I love the comparison because it gives us at least a reference point. Like I've already said, this season feels a little bit like 2016, where you're not going to get wins, you're really close, but it could be on the verge of something being a lot better in 2023 because they're almost there. And 17 showed us that, and a few acquisitions made a difference, and a coaching change made a difference, and all those things. But it definitely did manifest itself to be better than 16 on the heels of so close so many times back in that 2016 season. This is a different reference point. This is a league that is still has some holes and has the race is still open, and you're not out of it necessarily at 3-7 mathematically, although some years you would be. And can you get this team to the last 7 games, play really good football, whether you make a run at the playoffs or not? When you win 4 out of 7, 5 out of 7, and say this is what this football team is. And the bigger part of that would be, those young guys playing well. Because, listen, going forward, they need Devin Lloyd and Trayvon Walker to be hits. They need those guys to be big time. They need them to be really good. If Tyson Campbell, which we think he's headed this way, is a stud, that's a good stud centerpiece. Andre Sisco in that back end is really starting to come along. Can he be consistent and be a stud piece? So there's so many more things, and we know on the offensive side, Trevor Lawrence is so important in this conversation. There are so many more things in the last 7 games that could be a tell of what's to come than just the wins in a playoff, sprint or possibility or whatever. That's not what it has to be. It has to be the Jags getting better play out of more people, getting some stud play out of some people, and finding ways to win games, guys.
Sure, although you want to see the wins and the playoff runs happen as well. But, yeah, you have to have realistic expectations on it. I'm looking at this 2017 roster, thinking to myself how it stacks up to today's or really next year's roster. And obviously the script was flipped in 2017, right? All the All-Pros and Pro Bowlers were on the defensive side of the ball. You had 6 Pro Bowlers on that team, a couple of All-Pros as well. Certainly not the case with this Jaguars roster, at least not right now. But on that offense, are you buying Blake Bortles over Trevor Lawrence or the other way around? Travis Etienne, the way you see him projecting out to next year, do you think that's a bigger, better asset than Leonard Fournette? Allen Hurns, Marquise Lee, do you think that's a better duo than Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk?
No.
So, I mean, this team, to your point, Brent, this is shaping up pretty nicely in terms of a potent roster and should feel like it's bubbling up like 16 into 17 because it's kind of what it's shaping up to look like.
Well, yeah, and again, I think that part of the conversation, which could be a conversation we have all off season, will be a tougher conversation if they win just 4 games, an easier one if they win 6 or 7 games, because it's really hard to go from 4 wins to 10 wins. It's easier to go to 6, 7 wins to 10 wins. And be right there in the mix of the playoffs.
But you can do it in today's NFL.
You can. It's been done. And the Jags did it, right? The Jags were what? +7 that year.
That's right.
So they did it, but those are still there's one team a year. There's 1 out of 32. There's probably 5 out of 32 or 6 out of 32 or 8 out of 32 that jump 4 games in the win column, So, and I don't know what the number is, but you get my point. But to answer your question, yes, you'd rather have Trevor Lawrence than Blake Bortles. Their offensive line was good, and so is this one, I think, and is going to remain good. I think the receiving core, yes, you'd rather have Ridley and Kirk and others than what they had. And I think the difference with Etienne and Fournette is Fournette gave them an identity. And Fournette said, hey, you got to come defend me. The difference, I think, for this year's team is Etienne will give you an identity of explosiveness, and also you better learn how to defend him. But by this time next year, Trevor will be a guy you're defending. Blake wasn't that guy. The receivers and Kirk and Ridley will be guys that you're really defending. And I'm not sure Allen were those guys that they need to shade a certain way or something like that. So I think that's where it changes a little bit, Aaron, where next year, if we continue to see growth and consistency out of some of those guys, add Ridley to the equation, this is an offense that on paper I think will look light years better than the 2017 offense. Now, don't sleep on the fact that 2017 offense delivered pretty good.
5th in the league, yeah.
5th in the league overall in offense, and they ran the ball very effectively. I think they were number 1 in the league. They passed the ball efficient enough, especially at times, and also their defense helped them get to that ranking because they were so damn dominant that they gave them the football at the 22-yard line of the opponent several times.
That roster is just nasty looking, man. Oh,
and the defense of the Jags, we can't assume will be like that again, but it could be at least more steady and consistent and better because all these young guys hopefully will take a step. So there's a lot of different ways to look at it, and I think that's what all these different scenarios, from the craziness and the miracle you would need of 96 to the on the horizon what's to come in 2017. And by the way, roster spots to be earned, keep guys, cut guys, pay guys, all those things are massive here in 2022. This is an important 7-game stretch. And while everybody will always say that in the building, even when they were 1-11 or 10 at the time, it would have been, no, actually 9, because then there were 16 games. So 1-9, they'd be like, it's an important stretch. No, it wasn't. Not like this. This is way more important to tell you where this organization is going under Doug Peterson, with Trevor Lawrence, with everybody else that definitely is going to be here. So we'll find out over these next 7-8 weeks of the regular season. We're live at UNF Arena. Matthew Driscoll set to join us here in just a couple minutes. We'll give away some UNF tickets to Saturday's game as well. Brent and Friends on a Wednesday. Clay Harbor joins us in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Some brief showers early this morning, otherwise partly to mostly cloudy and cooler today. Temperatures in the 60s to lower 70s, dropping into the 40s tonight, and partly sunny and cool tomorrow. Your Thursday high, 63. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jags.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Right now, get 42% off everything in the store. Don't buy until you get our price.
Boss, wait till you hear this.
Whoa, hang on. We just found 6 houses without Safe Touch security, so let me enjoy my good mood for a little bit, will ya?
Sorry, boss, but Safe Touch is running a buy one, get one free special on their 24/7 recording perimeter guard cameras.
A BOCO on cameras?
Yeah. Listen, get 5-star security surveillance with Safe Touch's 2-way communicator, free installation, and lifetime warranty. Plus, add a doorbell camera for just $99.
Oh, that Lester Jackson! Why is he doing this to me?
Boss, it's just another reason we have the Crooksmas Golden Rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. So much for my good mood.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Monitoring agreement required with approved credit. Beat the holiday rush. Cameras are going fast. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
If you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997 and a staff that wants to help you. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business is now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes, embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good.
The Jacksonville Police Athletic League enriches the lives of children by creating positive relationships between law enforcement and the youth of our community through educational, athletic, and leadership programs. This is Mary Bishop, the Executive Director of PAL. We'd like to invite you to get involved. With your support, we can continue to deliver our core program services: after-school education, summer camp, sports, mentoring, and teen leadership. To get involved, go to jaxpal.com. That's jaxpal.com. You can make a difference in the lives of a child. PAL today, leader for life.
Win big at Best Bet St. Augustine. On November 24th and 25th, Best Bet St. Augustine will be giving away $20,000 in cash giveaways every 30 minutes from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. A seated player at a table game will win $500, and a seated player at a poker game will also win $500. Best Bet St. Augustine is located on 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjax.com.
Getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters. Like that family movie night your daughter can't live without. Yeah, can't do that. Every year, millions of people in the U.S. get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Buying or leasing a car in Jacksonville is the best with Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's luxury auto group. Lexus of Jacksonville and Orange Park, Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville, Orange Park, Jaguar Land Rover, Jacksonville, Porsche, Jacksonville, Fields Cadillac, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. If the luxury car you want isn't in stock, Fields Auto Group will order it. And at Fields, you'll never be charged over sticker price. Stop by a Fields store today and see what world-class service really means. Fields is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fields Auto Group, fieldsauto.com.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens Find Rx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. When you need to talk Medicare, Walgreens is here. Start shopping today at walgreens.com/Medicare.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma, smart communications for the smarter business.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
The UNF Arena, that is the voice of Matthew Driscoll, and he's right in the middle of practice, and he's joined us. Now, what college coach in the country would do that?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean,
come on. It depends on how that whole thing. But I'm first of all, I'm super, super excited that you're here. I love it when you guys come out and kind of are a part of it. And also, too, I think for the fans and just for people in general to see kind of how things go and how things work. Right now we're doing a quick lift in the weight room, our brand new weight room. Julie Blacker was very kind to donate. We have a brand new weight room right here in the arena. So we're able to do like a 20, 30-minute, almost like get their bodies ready for practice type thing. And then
I should do that before the show.
But you look great, by the way. I want to let you know that. Yeah. What's the name of the diet?
I don't even know. I can't even pronounce it.
Okay, forget it.
I won't give him free advertising.
Forget it. I was trying to give free advertising. But anyway, so then we'll get them loose, get up and down the floor, and then we'll start hitting. And then today will be the last day, and we'll start really, really honing in on what we have to do for South Carolina State, who has another game tomorrow before coming to play us. So prepared for the home opener at 5 o'clock. We tip on Saturday, which is great in a lot of different ways. Number one, Jags are out of town. Not playing, excuse me. So Jags are done. They're not playing this weekend, so that's great. And so that'll help as well, too. And obviously, with $3 million renovation that's going on, and looking around and just seeing it and seeing the floor. Yeah. It's got a lot of bells and whistles, too, that you don't see yet, that the fans will see with the new speaker system and the new lighting system and all those kind of different nuances. And obviously, the hospitality suite up top is just something that adds and enhances everyone, not just men's basketball, women's basketball, volleyball who play their home games here, but also all of our athletics and all of our people that we want to bring in and recruits that we want to bring in or families that we want to bring in or potential donors that we want to bring in, maybe naming rights for the arena. So all these things can transpire, plus your board of trustees meetings, your presidential lecture meetings, ESPN, when you guys do your Fox Christmas party, come rent the facility. Come up there and use it. It's got unbelievable 7 TVs up there, plus some interactive TVs as well too. It's got a full bar back, bricks, Tap House is on that. Bank of England's on the whole suite, and John and Jerry Haight is on the balcony.
I
so
just saw John Haight up there.
Yeah, he's checking out his balcony.
He's like the foreman.
He owns it. His name's on the balcony. So it's sort of like the guy when you build a house. The guy that shows up that actually owns the house. Yeah, it's a little different. But
you know what's cool about it though? You walk in here and you've got to do this a lot. Maybe you don't because you're right in the middle of it now. But I'm doing it because I've been here since 2008, which is right about the time you arrived here on campus. And you see the history. You see Dallas Moore. You see what you guys have done tournament-wise, championship-wise. You see the construction, the new floor. I mean, it does put you in a perspective of what it was to now what you've done. It makes you appreciate, I would think, of all the things you guys have accomplished.
With you saying that, it brings back the memory of Carrie and I the night before we won our first championship. And we came out on the floor and played before 6,155 and a chance to go to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I sat right there.
And Carrie and I were right out there, and we were standing at half court and looking around. And up there in the corner where that basket is, we had the team, our very, very first team in 2009, and we practiced cutting down the nets.
Oh, yeah. I remember that story.
And we practiced that, and then to come to full fruition. And now it's even a little bit more emotional. Carrie and I came in last weekend, and we kind of did the same thing and looked around. And when you look at these and you think about all the guys that came before, and what I love about those guys is there's no jealousy. There's no envy. Because those guys got things that first foundation group, the Parkers, the Jerons, the Andys, the Wills, the Davids, Travises, and the Charleses, and the Matt Sowies, and Jimmy Williams, and all those guys that did that, they were like, Coach, you're letting them wear low tops, you're letting them wear Jordans, you're letting them wear this, you're letting them do this, and now they can wear this. And they didn't get those opportunities, so they were kind of a little bit young, And so I think it's really cool that as the program's developed and as these 14 years have come together, and you look at all that and then you look at this, it's an exciting time. I mean, President Lamayam, obviously it's an exciting time because he's really all in, and he really wants this university, not just men's basketball, but this university to continue to just grow and prosper and shine and really help people understand. And that, like everything in life, your biggest bang for your buck is that bullseye in the middle. And that's this community we're in right now. And we just got to continue to move forward with that. And it starts Saturday night. It's going to be a fan experience, and it's going to be something that's going to be special for people.
Yeah, 5 o'clock. All right, you lose to Gonzaga. They're really good, by the way. Washington, man, you almost pulled one off. I mean, you do a lot of these Power 5 games, and you've got a couple over the years, and you guys were real close to getting Washington on Friday night.
Well, I won't say any names, but it's unfortunate that a couple teams decided not to play us this year, because there's been some games where, and of course when you have an older experienced group like we have and a group that's been around,
people don't want to play you.
Sometimes people are a little bit, whatever, cattywampus and those kind of situations. But yeah, Gonzaga it is what it is, and then to turn around and also too, we had to stay in Seattle. We were there a little bit longer. We got to work on some nuances and. To be up 5 with 12, maybe 11, and a chance to get up 8 if we knock in a transition 3. You really look at those things, and we look at the video. And you know me, I'm not that guy. I'm not that moral victory guy. Nothing. I believe in you got to keep on filling up the cup. It's not half full or empty. Like, keep filling it up. And we look at those daggers, and I think there were 9 of them. There were 9 daggers during the game, 4 in the first half, 5 in the second half, where we didn't expand on the lead, where we got stops and didn't expand the lead. We actually didn't expand, got a stop, didn't expand, got a stop. So when those things mount on top of each other, and really, when you think about as we grow and as we go, there's 14 teams in this league now. And that's the exciting part about this facility and where we're at. And what we're doing, and specifically,
here we go, straight to the ribs. He just came out of the weight room, by the way, so this is our first direction from Coach Driscoll.
But when you look at this league and you say, what's it going to look like when they start coming into this January and February? It's going to be. I told you at the media days, there's 7 to 8. There's 7 or 8, and now people are saying, "Holy cow, Coach might be right." No, Coach is right. Like, it's going to be an exciting brand. It's going to be exciting basketball. And I really feel like with this facility and with us who we are, and we continue to grow and have that esprit de corps, who knows?
All right, you got to go, Coach, practice. But what do you accomplish, like, on a Wednesday practice with many more to come before even you play Saturday? You're coming off the big road trip. Like, what are you trying to get at this point of the season out of these guys?
The one thing we do right away is every single day, like, we're going to get pressed like there's no tomorrow Saturday. So the one thing we do every day, not just today, but every day, we work on press, because I can't simulate it. We don't do it. I can't teach it. It's not in my repertoire. So if we have certain things that we do every single day that when we see it, we're not on our heels. And that's why when we played Michigan State, Michigan, then flew to play VCU, who pressed us the whole game, we missed a 3 with 2 minutes to go because we had built into this. And we had built up to that particular part where the guys know how to do what they need to do. Not perfectly, but they're going to do. So right now we're getting loose. We did the weights. Now we're working on this a little bit. Then we're going to shoot, which means get up some shots just to get them flowing. And then we're going to hit. When we get done hitting, now we're going to work on timing, and we're going to work on offensive efficiency and then some install. We haven't installed everything we need yet. So we're going to install some things that we have to install. We're normally ahead of the curve. But because of all of our differences with FSCJ and at the field house and not being in here and moving different places, NCAA doesn't give you a break.
Yeah.
So the time's the time. So when you travel, you got to count all that and all those different things. So really, really excited about being here, practicing here, but having this opportunity today. And we've had a whole week. So we've taken what we've done. We've had a whole week. We did a lot of conditioning. And now tomorrow, we're right at South Carolina State and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it in preparation for Friday's game prep, and then Saturday we tip it off.
All right, man. Go coach practice.
Maybe you can help me coach in a little bit. I remember when you played out here with that GoPro.
Yeah, got a technical foul. Thanks for watching. That's Matthew Driscoll. We're going to take a live look in, by the way, at their practice, and Coach is going to join us when they start going full court. Probably in an hour on the back half of Clay Harbor joining us. They're very meticulous, so hopefully our commercial break and we are as meticulous to match Coach Matthew Driscoll and his energy. We got to match a little bit of the energy, fellas.
I feel like meticulous isn't a word you'd use to describe us.
Not really. No, not you. No, not any of us.
I will
probably.
say this. No radio show is going to take you more inside of a practice at UNF than we just went, man. He's literally coaching while radioing. It's great.
He is, and but here's the other thing about it, is I said this, very few. Now listen,
Name
if
one.
ESPN was here and Jay Billis was here, and I don't even know if they do it for that, then people would maybe Coach K back in the day, or maybe Calipari, or
These
maybe
big-time
Izzo's
coaches? No.
jumping. No, right?
No.
Not even for ESPN, for
No.
branding. And Matthew Driscoll's jumping out of practice to join us, and not only that, he's going to show us a look. He just came over, tell us our show's on fire, because remember what I told you, it sounded like a fire alarm going off?
Yeah.
The fire alarms are going off, but it's just a test. So.
Yeah, I see a strobe back there. I see the strobe light. How funny is that? True friend of the show, man, Coach Driscoll.
Matthew Driscoll. But again, I mean, people, just that Kasey knows this too. When you have a practice going on, they would want us to be turned the other way.
Yeah, they don't want us in there bothering them during practice.
This right here.
Yeah, they want focus.
So, we appreciate Matthew Driscoll for having us out and letting us in and talk a little bit about UNF Arena and what's going on, because it is kind of cool. I can't show you everything. It'd just be hard to do, but you'll see it on Saturday if you come out to the game, 5 p.m. right here at UNF Arena on the campus of the University of North Florida. We'll have the call as well on ESPN3, which we always do, ESPN Plus. But the new suite going up, and it's almost done. They're just putting the finishing touches on that. All these other things that are happening. He mentioned it, $3 million. It's a big deal to this university, this basketball program, but the other sports, women's basketball, volleyball, and everything else to trickle down here at UNF Arena. Quick thought or two, but Kasey, I don't know if you pay attention to college basketball this early. I don't usually in the grand scheme of things, but Michigan State must be really good, and nobody thought they'd be this good. They beat Gonzaga, and they go to overtime. That was a heck of a game last night to beat Kentucky. I mean, what a start for Tom Izzo's club.
Yeah. I mean, I watched a little bit yesterday, and by the way, they lost to Gonzaga by 1, Brent, but they played them
they
close.
Lost to Gonzaga.
Yes.
That's right. They played them tight.
It threw me off. I was like, hold on. Maybe I'm not giving them enough respect.
Maybe they were. I must have remembered when they were up late and then didn't follow it all the way to the end. I thought it was a final.
But the number 2 team in the country, you lose by 1, and you beat the number 4 team in the country. For my money, you're the 3rd best team in the country, and they're unranked.
And they're unranked, right? I had that
unranked.
right. Yeah, man. That's unranked Michigan State.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, especially how they've started the season. And in a weird way, it's not getting any easier. Villanova, Alabama on the schedule, they're really going to earn it. And if they keep rattling off some of these wins, or at least playing these teams close, they got to be they're a good team. Let's rank them, somebody. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost surprising that they would – it doesn't matter what the makeup of their team is, that they would be outside the top 25 to begin with, just because Tom Izzo, Michigan State, seems like they're always there.
Yeah.
That dude's had that job for, 40 years?
Oh, yeah.
He's been there forever.
He's a legend.
I mean, all these guys. I mean, I don't know how much longer. He doesn't feel as old as some of the other guys that have gone out recently, right? The Roy Williams.
How old do you think he is?
Krzyzewski. But he's probably 67.
No, nailed it. Buy a lotto, Martineau, buy a lotto ticket.
No, but I mean, I think all those guys are in that range, right?
You killed it. I can't believe you did that.
He's like 67 years, 35 days, and 4 hours.
Yeah.
He's got Wikipedia pulled up.
But, okay, let's try it. Let's double down, Brent. How long's he been the coach at Michigan State?
Nice. I like this.
Oh, my gosh.
It was pre-Kasey. That's your hint.
Yeah,
pre-Kasey, I bet it was.
I would say it would be 92.
Oh.
So we're going to go 40 years.
I'm going to go 95.
Yeah, it's a
that'd be too. Oh, 95 was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say 92 would put him at 40 years. Would mean he's 27. That would have been a young coach. I think we go younger coaches now. So he got the job when he was 30 at Michigan State. That's still pretty young.
That's really impressive.
In another trivia question, because this one I almost feel like has to be wrong, but I guess it's right. How many titles have they won? Has he won?
Oh. Can't be a lot.
I want to say
It cannot
he
be a
has
lot.
won
It's like
2.
0 or 1.
It's 1.
Yeah.
1?
Isn't that crazy?
That is nuts.
How many Final Fours does he have?
That's got to be a bunch.
That would be 8.
Wow. Yeah, so and by the way, I feel like they've overachieved a lot of that time. Don't you? Like they don't have the Dukes, Kentuckys, Kansases kind of teams, yet they outperform what they are. They're always good, like maybe top 10, but you don't necessarily have them as like a favorite to win. And then he coaches them up. They usually play excellent defense, and that's what this team's about this year, I think, for Izzo. I was listening to some of the game. They talk about the defense, and he always seems to have that. So
I'm not going to lie, though. If he's been there since 95 and we call him a legend, I thought he would have had more than 1, you know?
But his record has been outstanding.
It's incredible. 666 and 267.
Yeah.
It's hard to
crazy.
win. It's hard to win.
I know.
And
I know.
Calipari, how many does Calipari have? 1 at Kentucky?
Let's find out. This is called
By the way,
stretch,
if the phone
guys,
starts
stretch.
ringing, 904-362-9901, we're going to give away a couple of tickets to UNF men's basketball game Saturday night.
He has 1, yes.
Yeah, 1 at Kentucky. You wouldn't guess that, though,
I
right?
would not.
For Tom Izzo, by the way.
Who's been winning?
Like 26 years at Michigan State, I think he's got like 20 NBA draft picks.
Wow,
coming
yeah.
out of that school.
Wow, and Kentucky has like 3 a year. And how about Duke? They've got 5 of the top 50 freshmen in the country on their roster right now. That's amazing.
Hey, as we go to break, what number are we doing the winner, Brent?
Number 3. Go Birds of Trey one more time. Give away a couple sets of tickets here on a Wednesday. We're live at UNF Arena. 904-362-9901. We're live from UNF men's basketball practices. They play on Saturday, 5 o'clock here at the arena. We'll be right back on ESPN 690.
Thanksgiving is up next, and ESPN 690 is partnering with City Streets to Student Athletes for Turkey Bowl 2022. It'll be November 19th at Atlantic Coast High School. It's a flag football tournament and a turkey giveaway. Register a team in the tournament at ESPN690.com. You can also help us give turkeys to families in need. Follow the link on ESPN690.com to make a $20 donation and help Jacksonville families this holiday season. Turkey giveaway and Turkey Bowl. All the details at ESPN690.com.
Life always has its challenges, but if you feel hopeless or suicidal, you don't have to face it alone. I'm Dr. Christine Caulfield, CEO of LSF Health Systems, and our free Link to Life program can help. We'll connect you with a care coordinator who will work with you to build better tomorrows. Please take suicide off the table. Contact Link to Life at 904-582-3252 or visit lsfhealthsystems.org.
Ready to swoop in the fall of 2022? The UNF Ospreys are ready with a lot of momentum on campus. New improvements at UNF Arena with basketball season right around the corner and tickets already on sale. The fall schedule underway in volleyball and men's and women's soccer, also men's and women's cross country. Get the latest news, schedules, results, and information on tickets for all things Ospreys at UNFospreys.com. Join the Osprey Club, attend a game or a match. Be a part of the momentum at the University of North Florida right now at UNFospreys.com.
Hello, you have reached the Crooks Arrest Training Center tip line.
Where we give expert advice for crooks.
You may have recently heard that Safe Touch Security is running an insane special for business owners. A 2-for-1 deal on 24/7 perimeter guard cameras.
Yeah, these cameras are game changers.
Correct. They are compatible with a Safe Touch system, a different system, or no system at all, giving business owners a lot of flexibility.
Plus, Safe Touch offers free installation, free storage, and a lifetime warranty, all for less than $1 a day.
So, don't be surprised when you see more and more Safe Touch signs at businesses.
And if you're a crook, be afraid. Be very afraid.
Only one security system is truly the best. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. Nobody beats Safe Touch.
Buy one, get one free cameras are limited and going fast. Beat the holiday rush. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Look around you. There's history being made. Has been. Will be. Just something about those blue skies, High banks and high speed, all coming together in one perfect race. And it'll be here sooner than you think. The Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway, February 19th, 2023. Get your tickets now at Daytona500.com.
In Florida, it's not if the storms are coming, it's when the storms are coming. And that's why you need the Chief. Jacksonville's chief meteorologist, Mike Burrish, with a proven track record of keeping local families safe. Rain, heat, hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes. We get it all. Just more reasons why you need the Chief. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, backed by the First Alert Weather Team. Only on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Hey, welcome back to UNF Arena. Brent Martineau, along with Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kurtz. We'll be joined by Matthew Driscoll again in about an hour. Clay Harbor joins us at the 4 o'clock hour. So we talk a lot of football coming up in just a few minutes, of course, on Brent and Friends, because that's what we do. Football at 5. We'll have some tweets for you. We talk a little college football along the way. Aaron Schachter's hanging with us till 5:30 today. One news note, Josh Lambo's lawsuit has been dismissed, guys. And it sounds like, according to our lawyer, Aaron Schachter, that they could refile the lawsuit in the next few weeks.
Not could, but will, according to Lambo's lawyer. She says you should expect her to refile that suit. They have 21 days.
That was you do a good job of actually getting through the mud on these lawsuit emails.
That is true.
I'll tell you why, and I think I told this story to Kasey. I'll tell it for you, Brent. Back when I was hired here 20 years ago, I worked over at the news organization. Yeah. And I was working overnights in the newsroom, and it was at the time of like a city council election, and I get a press release from one of the candidates accusing another candidate of embezzlement and corruption, and so I write it up like it's news, and then I hand it off to the morning team, and so the morning anchor, bless her heart, reads the story, comes out of the newsroom, and who wrote this? Like we're basically calling someone a fraud because the other candidate made the allegation, and that's when I learned what fact-checking was all about.
So how does that work? Will it be the same lawsuit, do you think, that gets refiled? Is that what they indicated?
Essentially, it sounds like technicalities, but yeah, they'll have to change a few of the ins and outs, the nooks and crannies of the filing, and then they'll refile it. But basically, the Jaguars are still contending they're not liable, that they released Lambo because of his performance. Lambo is saying his performance basically happened because he got kicked and then got into a fight with Urban Meyer, and Urban Meyer's not saying anything because he's about to lose some money.
Yeah, we don't even know the latest on all the Meyer part of this.
He works on Fox. He's all right.
He does. He's got plenty of money. Are you surprised Lambo was signed by another team after all this? I got to be honest with you. I am. Once he had a lawsuit, I thought that would make him an untouchable player once he filed a lawsuit against him.
It does happen like that sometimes, right?
Yeah. I'm really surprised. I mean, the
I thought more
Titans have signed him.
Yeah, I thought more so with Brian Flores that he wouldn't catch another job in this league. But then again, Mike Tomlin's looking at him like he's a good coach. We're going to bring him in. The Lambo thing I didn't think would be like an unofficial ban only because he didn't really do anything wrong.
The only reason I didn't think Lambo would be signed again is because last time he played, he was horrible.
Well, that's the thing. The lead up to his release,
right?
He missed two field goals and had some bad games.
Injured.
But he was saying it's because he had gotten kicked and then into this huge fight with the head coach.
But
he's saying that because he's trying to win a few $1 million.
Yes. Like if I'm signing people, if I'm in that business, I just go get a different kicker.
But like if you look at the facts as they lay out without connecting the dots, you go, all right, he was a decent kicker, and then at some point he gets kicked, and then immediately after the kick he misses a bunch of kicks, and then immediately after that he loses his job. So you don't have to say one is because of the other, but there's a possibility there.
I could see why he, again, I think what helps him in this scenario, I'm talking from the rest of the league, I think is the fact that Urban Meyer's tenure was such a joke.
Yeah.
And so regardless, anybody who played under Meyer, I think gets like a second opportunity in some way, shape, or form anyway. But I would say, when he filed that lawsuit, I remember talking to some folks, that are pretty close to him too, and saying, like, he knows this is probably it for him then, right? and I think he kind of thought so too.
Maybe that's even more
mistaken.
the reason why you file the lawsuit. If you think this is the end of it, you might as well go get that money.
So. Yeah, I think so. And now things change over a couple of years, right? And then Meyer ends up getting fired, all this stuff, and now time heals some of it. But I didn't expect him to be signed again, and I think Kasey's not too far off performance-wise. Again, is Matthew Wright on the team right now, your guy?
Oh, is he ever 2 for 2 with the Steelers this weekend, Brent?
This guy has played for 4 teams this year.
This guy is busy. And Mike Tomlin said he will kick again this weekend. How about it?
I'll tell you where Matthew Wright is 0 for 1. That's for making Kasey a birthday video.
Yeah. We tried. Well, I didn't.
He's a
Aaron
Steeler
tried.
now. Hey, before we get out of here for the top of the hour and invite Clay in, what's this kid's birthday party deal you got going on?
What a
Shaxter?
disaster.
I mean, why do you get put in charge of any of this kind
First
of
of
stuff?
all, that's a good question.
Anything at all.
This is what I told my wife literally this morning. I was like, you don't like the way I do it? Why do you keep asking me to do stuff?
It's a great call. What'd she say?
She said, because I expect a partner as a husband.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Okay.
So we sat down a couple of weeks ago, and she's like, look, the kid's birthday party is coming up.
I know your wife doesn't listen, which is great. I know she doesn't
The
listen.
one time she accidentally has it on the radio is
Are you
that
kidding
moment.
me? I've been on the radio 20 years in this town. She's never listened to me. Well, she worked here. She never listened to me. Anyway.
So what's going on?
So we got this joint birthday party. The kids are born like 2 or 3 days apart. So we got this fortunate thing going on where we can throw them one birthday party for both of them and get off like at half price. And then last year we went in kind of hard. We did a really cool birthday party for them because we were coming out of the pandemic and we wanted everyone to have a good time. So we literally brought in like a petting zoo to the backyard of the house, and we had like little chickens and like mini pony and like gerbils and stuff, and a bunch of kids back there having a great time. This year, we're like, all right, you got economic headwinds on the horizon. We're going to try and do it on the cheap. So we go to the neighborhood park. We reserve the park. My job was the invitations. I had to secure and send out the invitations. And then I was assigned party entertainment, which we agreed would be Bouncy House.
All right.
And I got a budget. So here's the problem. Bouncy House people don't want to deliver bouncy houses to parks because they got to fit in these tight windows. They want to leave it at your house for like a day or two. They just want to get it when they can get it. I buy the invitations and then realize when I bought the invitations, I got to write out all the invitations. Instead of some smart guy going to like one of these, print them out, and then send them out, I bought the blank ones, and I'm sitting here writing like some jabroni from 1996. My hand cramped up like 17 times trying to do these invitations. I look at my wife halfway through the invitations. I'm like, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm rebuying the invitations, all printed out. I'm not doing this. She's like, the party.
You even have a pen at the house.
I have, believe me, I was going through 6 pens trying to find the most comfortable one. I'm a pen guy, Brent, from way back. It's just I haven't written in a decade. Like, when's the last time you wrote intensively? High school?
I hear you. It hurts your hand.
Yes. So now she's mad at me over the invitations. I'm trying to get these bouncy houses. The bouncy house people won't come and play. So now I had to play hardball with bouncy house people. It was all falling apart for me, but I think I got it together at the last minute today. So I think we're okay. The kids will have a birthday party.
Give us an idea what you might spend on the kid's birthday party.
Well, it depends,
like,
right?
Whatever you're comfortable.
No,
I'm
telling you, man. No, I'll tell you because we work in radio, Brent. We're not spending that much. So if you're throwing it at like a trampoline park or something like that, you're liable to spend anywhere between $500 and $900, depending on the party.
Expensive.
Right? You go to a movie theater and do one of those movie theater parties, you're probably going to spend about $500. The park that we reserved, I don't think it costs anything. If it does, it's very cheap. So then
you just got the bouncy house.
So you go heavy on the bouncy house, right? So I spent about $365 on an obstacle, a 50-foot obstacle course.
Oh, can we come?
Yes, please, because I'm just going to be sitting there talking to all the moms. It's going to be really uncomfortable.
When is this again?
Well, I don't want to invite all the listeners.
Like I said, can we come? We'll be there.
I'll tell you guys off the air. But
didn't have to say where the park
the other part is like my son's got all these like well-to-do friends, and like that's not us. So like he goes to these birthday parties where they're like test driving Ferraris. And then he's going to come to this birthday party where like the party favor is a handshake and a see ya. Have a good day. Here, take this leftover Halloween candy in your goodie bag.
This is like a skit all out of Modern Family. You're going to have like 20 kids and all these parents over there, and nobody's going to use the bouncy house that costs $360. They're all going to be playing in the dirt.
That's the only thing that costs
The
money.
community sandbox.
I said to my wife, you guys may remember a couple of weeks ago, I went to that birthday party with the kid that nobody played with, but all the kids it was the same park. They just all run into the woods to do weird kid stuff, and like no one's playing any of
like
the toys.
get kidnapped in the woods.
Whatever.
What the heck?
As long as they're not complaining, who cares, right? So like, why am I buying a bouncy house? And on that note, Kasey, take us to break.
Please do before somebody gets us in trouble here. We'll be back. Clay Harbor joins us on Brent and Friends at ESPN 690 right after this.
The Gun Show is back at the Maxwell Snyder Armory on Normandy Boulevard this Saturday and Sunday. Buy, sell, trade, and browse a huge selection of guns, knives, ammo, and more with concealed weapons classes twice each day. Doors open at 9 a.m. See you at the Gun Show.
Buying or leasing a car in Jacksonville is the best with Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's luxury auto group. Lexus of Jacksonville and Orange Park, Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville, Orange Park, Jaguar Land Rover, Jacksonville, Porsche, Jacksonville, Fields Cadillac, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. If the luxury car you want isn't in stock, Fields Auto Group will order it. And at Fields, you'll never be charged over sticker price. Stop by a Fields store today and see what world-class service really means. Fields is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fields Auto Group, fieldsauto.com.
Sure, we have 30 seconds to tell you that drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. But then what? Well, we could try to fill the remaining time with awkward pauses. It's often done for comedic effect. Is it working? I can't tell if this is funny. Maybe this is so bad it's funny. Wow, we really peaked at the save big when you switched to Progressive part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
For all your printing needs this holiday, Staples has you covered.
I need custom printed holiday cards for my one-of-a-kind business.
Staples has you covered.
It's beginning to look a lot like I need custom party invites. Fast.
I need cards for everyone who gave me a hand this year without spending an arm and a leg.
Staples has you covered with personalized holiday cards and invites. And now save 40% on custom holiday cards and invitations. For everything you need printed, go to Staples, the working and learning store. In-store and online ends 12/17. Exclusions and restrictions apply.
It's no secret that companies who conduct their business through e-commerce continue to experience substantial growth. However, what best practices exist if one wants to launch a business? For example, how soon should a website be created? How much effort should be dedicated to digital marketing? The answers to these questions are often not easy to come by, but here at SCORE, we have subject matter experts available at our workshops to provide timely and relevant information. Don't miss out on all that SCORE has to offer. Learn more and register for a workshop today by clicking on the Take a Workshop tab at jacksonville.score.org.
It's tournament time this month at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. The GOPO 500, a $500 no-limit hold'em tournament, will be on Saturday, November 19th at Best Bet Orange Park. Then the 10th annual Turkey Bowl Deep Stack Bounty, a $200 no-limit hold'em tournament, will be on November 24th, Thanksgiving Day, at Best Bet Jacksonville at 7 p.m. There are also weekly no-limit hold'em tournaments going on at Best Bet St. Augustine every Wednesday and Saturday. Go to bestbetjacks.com to learn more.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Are you curious about marijuana? Florida A&M University established the Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, also known as MARY, to educate the public about medical marijuana use as well as the detrimental health and social impacts of unlawful marijuana use on local communities. Find out more at mmeri.famu.edu.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
What's up? It's Kasey. Check out the podcast Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, wherever you get your podcasts.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
I'm Christine Lisi. Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson rejoined his teammates on the practice field today for the first time since being suspended 11 games for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. Coach Kevin Stefanski says they'll have a plan for Watson to start getting ready, and this week that will likely be an acclimation process, explains ESPN's Jeremy Fowler.
He could take some first-team reps at some point this week, but they won't overwork him. It will actually be a reversal of what they did in training camp, where Watson started out taking a bulk of the workload, and then they gave Jacoby Brissett more and more to get him ready for week one. Now Brissett's the guy, and they've got to ease Watson back in.
Watson is eligible to make his Browns regular season debut against Houston December 4th. From ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Eagles plan to sign Pro Bowl defensive tackle Linval Joseph to a one-year deal to aid their run defense. Philly's given up 320 yards on the ground combined the last 2 games. The Mariners bolstered their lineup, acquired slugger outfielder Teoscar Hernandez from the Blue Jays for reliever Eric Swanson and a pitching prospect. Toronto does plan to acquire another outfielder at some point this offseason.
Halloween is over, but hiring is still a bit scary? Indeed's end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jax presents Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
We're going to have to show a little more patience than the year 2 pom-pom people.
Casey Kurtz.
Yo! But what are we doing, bro? Come on!
And Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Hit him! Hit him! Yeah! Boom! Jack! Boom! Yeah! Boom! Jack! Boom! This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Welcome back to UNF Arena. Brent and Friends on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau, along with Casey Kurtz, Aaron Schachter here on a Wednesday. It's the bye week for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we have Clay Harbor on the way. And Casey, since I can't really communicate with you otherwise, I'll just tell everybody listening. He says he's on. And so let me know if I need to relay something his way. So
Sounds like Casey needs to get some producing done is what it really sounds like.
In just a moment. So we'll check back. He says it sounds like you're playing the other station.
Oh, boy. We need to he's checking the router now.
That does happen. There you go, guys. That's producing 101 if you want. Oh, well, I don't know about 101. It's producing behind the scenes for all of our listeners there as we try to get Clay Harbor on. But when you have like 8 different stations, that happens.
It does. Like more times than it should.
I wonder if we're playing like 96.9 The Eagle right now.
There was a time where like at the old building, you'd call up to try and win a contest for one station. They'd put you on hold and you hear the other station on hold. You're like, did I even call the right place?
All right, guys. For putting my business out on the street. I appreciate you greatly. And without further ado, Clay Harbor.
Yes.
Oh, very good. Nice shot. That was a quick fix. That's why we share it with the people. We wanted to showcase Casey's skills and how quick he could remedy the situation.
Well, you also hit the people with, hey, Casey, you obviously didn't do your job correctly because Clay can't hear anybody or nothing, and we can't hear him. So,
That was actually Aaron.
Actually, Clay told me to say that, so.
Oh. So I'm getting Casey. Bullied from a third straight person?
See?
Okay.
Clay
awesome.
is very disappointed.
Great. Awesome.
I tweeted to Clay yesterday. He went from gushing all over Justin Fields to whoever Bachelor in Paradise is this week or something.
Brent, my cousin is on the show, so I have a vested interest.
All right.
I'm not just sitting there watching The Bachelor and my feelings.
All right.
But my first cousin, my blood, he's on the show, and he was going through a hard time. So I had to take to Twitter to back him up, let everybody know that Andrew's doing a great job. He's really there for the right reasons. I don't know if Aaron or Casey would be, but
I
Andrew's
definitely
there for the right reasons.
100% would not. Not only would I not be there for the right reasons, but I would be looking at that camera constantly going, you guys seeing this? Are you guys with me on this? This is insane. They would hate me on that show.
Yeah, you're breaking the third wall for sure.
100%. Me and my wife are watching one of these Netflix reality dating shows, which is Love is Blind. There's a lot of memes going around. Yeah, a lot of memes going around. My wife is like, we got to catch up. So we've been watching this show. There are really some rejects on that show. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I can't say much for the reality television, especially reality dating scene out there.
Yeah.
It's not the highest quality individual you'll ever meet. There's definitely some characters. I can speak from personal experience, unfortunately.
You get some
But
good-looking
it's
people
fun.
out there.
Yeah, there's some attractive people in there.
That's about where it
there's
stops.
By the
Yeah,
way,
after that, there's not much going on.
If we did not tee this conversation up with whether we were talking about Bachelor in Paradise or football, would any of your comments have changed?
Yeah,
Depends
maybe
on what
a
team.
little bit.
Not really. Like, I mean, you could have been describing a locker room.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean,
Roquan
it's
Smith
pretty
is a very
similar.
attractive dude. Sure, yeah, sure.
Clay Harbor with us, and that is kind of wild. Are you guys the first family that has been on?
It's like a dynasty.
The Bachelor? Or have they done that before?
Honestly, I don't know. There's been twins. There's been a couple of siblings on that are twins. But as far as cousins, I'm not sure. But there's been twins on at one time, but we're separate seasons, obviously a couple years apart. And I got him in with the producers, and he's became super famous. He's way more popular than I am. I'll say that as far as in the reality TV world.
Oh, you say he did it
He's done
better.
a great job.
I got a good
He
one
did
for
it
you.
much better.
Brent, I got a
Much
good one
better.
for you. There's a reality show also on Netflix called The Circle, where you basically hide behind a wall and you talk to these people on fake social media, but you can pretend to be other people. One of the contestants was a dude and his mom working together to try and pick up girls on this show. It was amazing. Amazing.
Wow. I'll have to check that one out.
How did we get here? From Bachelor in Paradise to that, let's talk about the Jags. They hit the bye week, man. Can they go on a run?
I don't know. It's looking at the game, and I just rewatched it yesterday, and I thought there was a lot of good things in that Kansas City game. Obviously, they missed a couple field goals. You had the touchdown with the legal man downfield, but they competed. If this is one of the best teams in the league, they were playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. Best coach, best quarterback. I thought they held their own. Obviously, you can't just keep making those mistakes and the same story over and over again. But I thought they showed some good things, and they showed they're going to be competitive down the stretch. They're not that far off of being competitive with one of the best teams in the league. I think you go in the bye week. Doug Peterson's good with the bye week. They have some good time off. They come back, and they should get some wins. I'm not one of the guys that says, hey, we're not going to make the playoffs. Let's just try to tank the season and get a high draft pick. I think you build momentum by coming in, winning games, and showing and proving to yourself that you can do that. Then we come in next season, you're expecting to that. You and your team are expecting to be able to pull these games out. And I think that's when the major adaptation happens, the major change happens. You become one of the better teams in the league.
Clay, I think actually that could happen in the last 7 games if they can find something right. I know what you're saying about, I don't think anybody thinks this is a tanking situation or watch the draft pick or monitor it I don't think anybody even in town, some people might want that to happen, but I don't think they do, and I don't hear that a lot. And I really don't think this team will even buy into that, because here's the deal. The Jags think they're good. They think they're a good football team. They don't think they even have the kind of football team that's just going to lay down. They have the kind of football team they think that can beat anybody right now. They just haven't. I understand that. They're not very good if you look at their record. But I'm just telling you how they feel, Clay. I think this is totally a different situation than, in recent years or even the last decade at times, where we'd be all right, listen, the smartest thing would be to go get help high in the draft and don't win games. I actually think the smartest thing to do here is go win as many football games as possible so you can take that next step next year like you're talking about. Start believing you are good enough to win right now in late November and December, and hopefully that parlays into a good offseason and into a next year where everything really pops.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's true. And once you start winning, you start believing that you can. And once you start believing you can, that's when things change. And I don't see the glaring weaknesses that you've seen from Jags teams in the past. Obviously, you got a good receiver coming in next year, Ridley already. The O-line solid. Obviously, you got to decide if you're going to re-sign Taylor there. The defense could use a little bit of help, but I think the team's close. You get a couple more guys, a little bit more experience. Trevor keeps getting better. ETN's turning into a bona fide star. I do love this receiving group. Christian Kirk had a heck of a game. Yeah. 9 catches and a touchdown, 100 yards. I think they're close. And people in Chicago, I work closely with Chicago and, living here, and everybody's talking about they want the Bears to tank to get a higher draft pick. But I say you go out and you win the games. You build the confidence within the organization, within the guys that you have on your team, and then that's when you start to see the change. You start to see the wins. You're not going to see a change in the organization by just losing and getting a high draft pick. And then who knows, it's hit or miss if that kid can come in. And how often does a rookie come in and all of a sudden he's going to make that big of a difference in your team? It typically doesn't happen. So I'm all for this. Isn't a tank year. This Jaguars team is talented. They're good. They got to start winning more games, obviously. But that's the most important thing, not the draft.
Clay Harbor with us here on ESPN 690. Let me ask you something about the receiving core. We talked about this week a bunch, and we actually kind of fell onto something in our conversation. You look at Tyreek Hill, the difference he's made for the Dolphins. You look at Stephon Diggs a few years ago, the difference they, boom, just exploded for the Bills. We talk about Jamar Chase in Cincinnati. He got there, and boom, they exploded. We maybe around here Ridley is that guy. Like Ridley does that to this offense and makes them hit a new level. Whatever that is, I don't know, but that new level. But right now, don't have the guys that can get down the field enough. Like we saw Trevor, and you watch the tape back, he threw some nice balls downfield, but they don't really have the guys that can separate enough. They have players that are pretty good in space and in scheme and in that 20-yard box. Like they're really good. The Kirks, the Zay Jones, they've done a good job. Ingram. But down the field has been a problem, and I thought maybe that was a Trevor thing, that they didn't want to put the ball in danger. I'm not sure it's a Trevor thing. I don't know if they've got the horses to be able to make the plays down the field, Clay.
Yeah, I'm not sure they do, but the problem with that is this is a slow free agency year for wide receivers. There's not that many wide receivers that are going to be hitting the open market this year. That's why I think Doug's move was so special. You don't think he looked and saw who was out there? He said, hey, we need another receiver in here. Let's see what free agency looks like next year. You got Jacoby Myers. Nelson Aguilar. You're going to bring DJ Chark back. Byron Pringle, Alan Lazard. Here's some of the names that you start seeing on the list. There's not many. Dante Pettis, the Bears. Trust me, he's not that good. There's not many players out there that you could say, hey, we're going to bring this guy in, and he's going to help us out, and we're going to do well. Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't know. A.J. Green hasn't been playing. There's not many players out there. So this is what you have with Calvin Ridley. You got to get it done with this group. Obviously, you throw Calvin Ridley in there, and there's no excuses now, though. Once you get Ridley, you spent big money in this receiving core last year. Christian Kirk is having a heck of a year. 7 touchdowns, almost 700 yards already, on pace for over 1,000 yards, has 82 catches already. So they can improve there, and obviously – saw Christian Kirk with the big drop last week, bounced off his chest, a couple other drops in the game. But I think they're going to keep improving just off the fact they're getting more reps and more time together. And Trevor Lawrence is only 23, 24-year-old quarterback. And they can spend more time with these receivers. He's going to get better that way. Add Calvin Ridley in there. That's going to be the biggest free agent acquisition at receiver this entire year. The Jaguars already got the biggest free agent acquisition of next season is Calvin Ridley. There's no other receiver that's going to make the impact that he's going to make. The Jaguars did it right. They got the best one.
So, Clay, you're looking at that offense in 2023 with Calvin Ridley presumably as the number 1 target, Christian Kirk, number 2 target. You're clearing out that tight end room, so who knows if you're bringing anybody back or what you do there. But ETN, obviously, somebody you want to run the offense through. How do you think that share kind of folds out?
I think it fits in well. I think Calvin Ridley comes in and it just makes everybody better. Obviously, I don't know if they're going to bring Marvin Jones back. He's the only free agent there.
Yes.
You got Zay Jones locked in. You got Zay Jones locked in, Christian Kirk, and Calvin Ridley. To me, that's a heck of a receiving core. You got Christian Kirk in the slot. Zay Jones can work both, and Calvin Ridley on the outside. I think that's a great receiving core right there. Then you get a full season with Travis Etienne. I think they got some weapons, and you're going to see Trevor improve as a young guy. Now he's taking a step into a guy that can play more consistent and win down the stretch. Don't know if they're going to bring back Evan Ingram. I think Dan Arnold might be. Is he under contract still? I'm not sure.
All of the tight ends, I think, are up at the end of the year.
Yeah, so maybe you can bring in another big pass catcher or tight end, or you bring back Evan Ingram after this prove it year. I think he's done a decent job. He's got 50 or 35 catches, 350 yards, decent year. But I think Calvin Ridley is going to pay huge dividends. I went back and watched some tape on him, and this guy's the real deal. He's explosive. He can catch. He can move, and he changes the game. He's going to help the running game, just being able to stretch the defense. Those safeties aren't going to be able to play in the box. The person who might benefit the most is Travis Etienne Jr. because these safeties are going to have to be playing deep once you get Calvin Ridley in that field.
That's a really good point, by the way, and I think everybody's universally agree. They all agree that Christian Kirk's going to be a big beneficiary of the Ridley move. But just to put it in the context of what's to come in terms of the free agency class, I think it's good at what the Jags could turn into. I mean, it was a genius move potentially. Again, he hasn't played in 2 years, so we have to just assume the Calvin Ridley we know is the Calvin Ridley that the Jaguars are getting. By the way, we're live at UNF Arena, basketball practice for the UNF Ospreys, and they're building these new suites, so the sound you hear in the background, the fire marshal is here, and they're testing things. So that's what you're hearing with that buzzing. I'm trying to time it where I can at least turn my mic down when I'm not talking, but bear with us while they do that. Clay, you talk about Trevor. I really believe we are seeing it in front of our own eyes in terms of the step he's taking in these last couple of weeks. And I say it in a couple of different manners. One, he comes off the London game where there was more heat on him than there's ever been maybe from a football perspective in his entire life. And I don't think that's overdramatic. This guy's always played well. Who has criticized him? Well, coming off that London game, another interception in the end zone, a bad one, the interception in the 2-minute drill in the first play, people started to raise questions. The noise was building in Jacksonville. I don't know about bust, but like what's going on? And then he responds with that big performance against the Raiders to come back and win. And again last week against Kansas City, I thought he was really good. I thought guys like Kirk and the penalty and all those other things are the ones that let him down, the field goal kicker too. I feel like this thing's slowing down for him. I feel like he's got a grasp of it. You're a guy that's played the game. You've played offense. You know what it's supposed to look like. Do you see that jumping off the TV at all from Trevor Lawrence these last couple of weeks?
Yeah, for sure. These last couple games, he's looked real good. I thought he did a good job. He had a couple drops there against the Chiefs. I mean, he had a solid game. Unfortunately, they missed those field goals, and that touchdown pass to Evan Ingram didn't count. I mean, that would have made the game that much better. But overall, I thought he was playing well. He's in full command of the game. He's leading his team. They're down. He's coming back. That 2-minute drill was unbelievable. The throw he had to Christian Kirk to score the touchdown. He's making some uncommon throws. These aren't throws that normal quarterbacks can make. And yeah, I was starting to think a little bit, okay, what's going on with Trevor Lawrence? He's losing confidence. But these last 2 games has proven to me that he's a guy that can come back off of bad games and just show that he's still there. And that's what you want, a guy that can overcome adversity. And he's proven that he can do that. And he made some big throws in big-time situations of the game. And I think he's going to be what the Jaguars thought he's going to be. Obviously, this year hasn't gone the way they wanted. There's been some issues that I don't think have been him. I mean, there's been a couple times. Obviously, you got like the Philadelphia game with the 5 fumbles. I mean, that was a monsoon. But overall, I mean, the ball bounces a couple different ways. The Jaguars are right in the thick of things. So overall, I think they're not far.
What's the next level of it for Trevor then? Like, he looks like he's in more command of the offense. That will continue to grow his relationship with Peterson. And that was on display, by the way, by Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They're in sync. They've been together. They know that offense so well and what they're trying to do. And I think we'll continue to see the growth of that. But time can only heal that. What's the next step in your opinion? I think we're seeing accuracy. We're seeing confidence. We're seeing a calm demeanor. You're right. He checks the box of coming off a bad performance, so the mental toughness was there. Is there something next that you want to see in the next 7 games from Trevor outside of good play that you're like, okay, that's another box checked going into year number 3?
Just to keep taking command of his team, to be assertive. Have that feel like it's a Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady in their team. The guys are just looking to him. They know he's going to lead them. They know he's going to know. He knows exactly what he's doing in every play. And if he does miss the throw, he's going to come back and he's going to hit the next one. Just to keep improving on everything and his consistency. And after that, I think he's going to be in the conversation, for a top 10 QB next year.
We had that discussion, didn't we, Aaron, just the other day?
We did.
Already a top 15 in the league this year.
Yeah,
not projection, but this year.
According to efficiency grades, he is. He's, I think, rated 7th or 8th in the league at
There you go.
efficiency per dropback. But, Clay, you talk about how earlier in the year, I think you weren't alone, by the way. A lot of people in the city, probably in that building, started to lose a little bit of faith in the guy under center, and he's starting to turn it around there. It's got to be a big sigh of relief for the team. But as we talk about free agent wide receivers or tight ends that might be on the market, I did take a look at like the top 10 free agents on the market next year, and there's not a lot of Jaguars targets that I'm finding on this list. Brent, tell me if you think any of these are a good fit too, man. First of all, your first three are quarterbacks, so that's a no, right? Right off the top.
True.
You got Lammer, you got Geno, and you got Tom. None of those guys will be available. None of those guys are needed here. At number 4, though, you got a defensive interior guy, DeJavon Hargrave out of Philadelphia, who's playing really well, especially in the pass rush. It's only second to Aaron Donald and Chris Jones since 2020. That might be a nice addition here on the team. Elgin Jenkins out of Green Bay. He plays basically every position on the offensive line, although he's a starter. So you'd have to throw in a little competition there on the offensive line. Jesse Bates, you think there's room here for Jesse Bates? Big safety out of Cincinnati. They franchise tagged him in the offseason this year, but he was another one of these guys that was rumored to be unhappy at his current team and wanted out. He might be a good addition here.
So, I guess what they do with safety and Rayshon Jenkins and I don't know. What do you think, Clay? Jesse Bates? Could that be a potential landing spot?
I think that's a landing spot, but I think the Jags are besides Tampa Bay, they're one of the teams with the least amount of cap space. I think they're negative 23. I know there's ways to change that, and Balky's going to have to get to work and earn his paycheck, but they're in a tough cap situation. They spent a lot of money last season, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of big turnovers and big changes like we saw last year. This year, they're going to be stuck. They're going to be stuck with a lot of these same guys. A lot of these contracts you're not going to be able to get rid of. I think, there's going to be some gone, but they're in a really tough cap spot. But I think they do have the talent. I don't think that's the problem. So it's a catch-22 thing. You got the talent in there now, so now you can't really go out and get that many new players. Obviously, you bring some through the draft. You go out and get a couple of free agents, but they're not going to be able to make any big-time splashes, I don't think, this season because the lack of cap space they have. But I do think they have the talent on the roster right now to compete with these teams. I mean, you saw the game against Kansas City. Obviously, they lost by 10, but I don't think they're overmatched. Kansas City's one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl this year. I think they're really close, and obviously, a couple pieces here and there, but cap space is going to be a tough deal for them this year.
It's interesting. You mentioned Tampa Bay in that cap space conversation only because the next two guys are out of Tampa Bay. You got Jamel Dean at corner, which might be a good target for the Jaguars, and Levante David, who plays linebacker. And while I think we could actually use linebacker help, I don't think we got room for another linebacker on this team. Based on
they got to ride with what they got a little bit.
Pretty much.
One other thing about, and that's good, that's not a great list. I don't know if they're going to get a lot of help, Aaron, on the list, but the one other part of this is what Kansas City and teams like this do. Once you know you have the quarterback and you feel good about your quarterback, and Clay, you know this, you can be deficient in other areas if you think your quarterback is going to make up for it, right? Well, I'm not sure they're there yet with Trevor, but maybe by midseason next year they do get there. Like, that's the kind of step Trevor we hope makes where it's like, hey, we don't care what's going on around the defensive side of the ball. We don't care if the Jags are down 17 points. You got Trevor Lawrence. And Patrick Mahomes would bring Kansas City back, and Josh Allen would be dangerous to bring the Buffalo Bills back, and Aaron Rodgers has done it, and Brady has done it. Like, we still, listen, the Jags think they have that kind of guy, Clay, and that would hide a lot of warts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the defense, you had 2 defensive first-round picks last year. I mean, these guys are going to keep improving too. I mean, Trayvon's had an okay year. I think he's going to get better. The guy's young. He's 21 years old. Obviously, a lot of people expected a little bit more from him, but he's been doing a decent job of rushing the quarterback. I think he gets a full offseason, an NFL offseason with the coaches. This guy can still turn into a force to be reckoned with. And same thing with Devin Lloyd. He started off hot, and he's faded a little bit, but I still think he's a good player. He's a player that can cause some serious problems in this league. Still these guys on defense, I'm still high on a lot of them. I think he needs some help at cornerback, but I mean, and obviously in the pass rush aspect of it. But overall, I think they got talent on that defense too. And when Trevor improves, I think this team can be a real problem.
All right, let's take a break. We are live at UNF Arena. Here you can hear the basketball practice in the background. We're going to give you a live peek in here a little bit later on, but one more segment with Clay. He is gushing these days over Justin Fields. How good is Fields? How good can the Bears be? And a little look around the NFL as well as the Jags hit their bye week. Clay Harbor joins us each and every Wednesday, 4 o'clock hour on Brent and Friends, right here on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Some brief showers early this morning, otherwise partly to mostly cloudy and cooler today. Temperatures in the 60s to lower 70s, dropping into the 40s tonight, and partly sunny and cool tomorrow. Your Thursday high, 63. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jags.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Right now, get 42% off everything in the store. Don't buy until you get our price.
Hey folks, Dave Binion here with Zero Res. At Zero Res, we love rugs. We will treat your fine Oriental rugs with the tender and loving care they deserve. Gerard, the Zero Res rug manager, is one of the few certified master rug cleaners in Florida. If you want your rugs cleaned with tender loving care, call Zero Res. Right now, get your rugs washed and we will give you 25% off. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
You have the power to make a difference for local kids in crisis at Daniel. In fact, right now, you have the power of two. The Jesse Ball DuPont Fund is matching online donations made at danielkids.org throughout November. That means your donation will go twice as far in providing counseling for abused children, connecting neglected kids with foster families, and finding shelter for homeless teens. Double your impact in the community by making a donation at danielkids.org today.
Ready to hit the road this fall? Maybe a trip to the mountains or over the river to Grandma's? Then listen up, because you need to rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. If you've tried to rent lately, then you know rental companies are short on inventory, but not our friends over at Arlington Toyota Rent-A-Car. Arlington has 2022 and 2023 models in stock and ready to rent at a great price. Plus, renting a Toyota is the best way to try it before you buy it. Go to arlingtontoyota.com, reserve your rental, and discover just how good Toyota Rent-A-Car can be.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Brian Kilmeade. I want you to join me while I MC Operation New Uniforms 9th Annual Heroes Gala with guest speaker Colonel Alan West at the Sawgrass Marriott Saturday, December 3rd.
Greetings, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, and I'm excited to join Operation New Uniform as we celebrate our heroes at the 9th Annual Heroes Gala, December the 3rd. Join us in honoring our military service men and women and their families on this night to remember. We look forward to seeing you there.
Since 2014, ONU has helped thousands of veterans develop the skills necessary to translate their talents and backgrounds into business. Salute our veterans Saturday, December 3rd, and join me, Brian Kilmeade, and Colonel Alan West for a very special event. There are several sponsorship levels available, but space is limited. To get your group involved, call 904-328-1600. That's 904-328-1600, or go to onuvets.org. Secure your table today.
If you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997, and a staff that wants to help you. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business is now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes, embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good.
Moments like watching my grandson steal second mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, or follow me on Twitter at BrentASJax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Hey, welcome back, Brent and Friends on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kurtz. Clay Harbor joins us each and every Wednesday, and we love spending some time with Clay. He's up in Chicago. He bounces around from New York to Jacksonville, Chicago, follows those Eagles, his former team, the Chicago Bears as well, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Clay, Chicago. How much is the place buzzing right now about Justin Fields now that he's done it 4 weeks in a row and doing some things with his legs that are only like Lamar Jackson-like?
I'm sorry, you were cutting out there for a second.
All right, how much right now is Chicago buzzing over Justin Fields' play the last month?
Yeah. Brian, I mean, you wouldn't believe it if I told you, man. It's been incredible out here. You got to think, when's the last time the Chicago Bears had a good quarterback, man? I mean, when's the last quarterback that comes to your mind and you said, damn, that quarterback was good for the Bears?
Yeah, I think we threw out names like Rex Grossman and
Jay Cutler.
McMahon and Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is probably the most talented guy that they've had over the last 30 years.
But it was McMahon, essentially. Well, he was the last one who did any good for the team.
Exactly. Cade McNown, who knows? It's been forever. So this city, it's been so long to see him doing it week after week. This is the 5th straight week that he's had some record-setting performances. Even a couple weeks before then, he's done well. He's shown consistently that he can be a player now. Obviously, they had to tailor the offense to him. They had him playing an offense like he was Tom Brady or something. This guy isn't going to drop back and throw anticipatory passes and get in and out of hit guys out of breaks. That's not his game. Do you see Lamar Jackson doing that? No. Do you think Lamar Jackson could be successful in Joe Burrow's offense? No. Do you think Joe Burrow could be successful in Lamar Jackson's offense? No. They specifically made the offense for Justin Fields, and now we're seeing why he was such a valued prospect. They gave up an extra first-round draft pick for him, and it's worth it. Chicago loves it. He's a guy that is literally changing games. He scored over 30 points 3 games in a row. Chicago hasn't seen a good offense in years. When they were winning because of their defense.
Yeah.
So it's literally pandemonium out here in Chicago with Justin Fields, his Fields jerseys, and just everything. So I'll try to say something bad about Justin Fields on Twitter in Chicago, and you might get a brick through your window. I don't know.
Well, hey, by the way, we want to reach that point over this next month with
bricks
Trevor.
Through the windows?
Yeah, no, that's the feel, right? I mean, listen, Clay's talking about that, but they're losing. They're still not good, and they keep losing football games, but they see the play of Justin Fields. The Jags, well, can they continue to get that step up? And it's different way, right? We're talking about Justin Fields doing a lot with his legs. Can Trevor make big-time throws? Can he win you some games down the stretch? I think that's what it's going to take for Trevor, in the 2-minute drill or something like that, to come back and win a game to get people super excited here in town. But if it starts to build 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, that's what we're seeing out of Justin Fields, then you can get pandemonium. Then you can get that excitement. And we're waiting to see that with number 16, and maybe it's starting to build, but they're getting that right now with Justin Fields. And, Clay, here's what I never understand to the context of what you were just talking about. They had an entire offseason. They had an entire training camp. Yeah. Why did it take 7 weeks into the season to change the offense to the guy? It's not like they lost 5 players of injury. They knew what they had. So why didn't they do it right from the jump?
I about fell out of my chair when Luke Getsy said after that little pseudo bye week they had a Thursday night football game followed by a Monday night football game. the following week. So when he said they're going to start using Justin Fields' legs more, I almost fell out of my chair. I go, this guy is 6'3", 230 pounds and can run a 4.4 flag. You're going to use his legs more? Of course you're going to use his legs more. You should have been doing this the whole year. And I got to say that Trevor Lawrence, that guy can move too. Here's a stat for you, Brent. I was, I always check all these stats. I'm a big PFF guy, next-gen stats guy.
I got some PFF for Clay as soon as he's done right here. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I'm checking the next-gen stats just to see Justin Fields in the list of the fastest ball carriers. There was 2 quarterbacks on the list this past week. Obviously, our guy Justin Fields was one, but I'll give you one guess. Who was the only other quarterback in the top 20 of the entire league on the next-gen stats fastest ball carriers list? There's one other quarterback.
Daniel Jones.
It's got to be Trevor.
No, Trevor Lawrence.
Long-haired gazelle.
Trevor Lawrence. This guy can move. He ran over 20 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
Trevor Lawrence's legs are underrated. I think we had this conversation last week, but you might need to start implementing some more runs with Trevor, some zone read stuff. I don't know. The guy's doing a good job.
Get the third down sprint option out of there, though, please. That didn't work too well the other day.
You didn't like that, huh? I'm looking at the Bayesian quarterback rankings on PFF after week 11, right? And they average scaled PFF grades and EPA efficiency. And for those who don't know that, EPA efficiency is the expected points on these dropbacks. How efficient are you when you do the dropback for the pass? So they've got Trevor pretty high on this list. I wanted to see in comparison to where they had ranked Justin Fields. Justin Fields is ranked 13th. He's not, he's no slouch. But, Brent, we were talking whether Trevor Lawrence is currently a top 15 quarterback on this list. They got him at 10.
Yeah, I like that. Like, measurables are good for Trevor Lawrence, aren't they, Clay?
The measurables are. The guy can do a lot of different things, and he's very, he's very dynamic in the sense to where he's, he can do a lot of different things. He can throw on the move. He can sit in the pocket. He's a guy that just can do a lot of different things, and he's doing that without a superstar wide receiver. And the best part about it, like I said, is Doug Peterson already made the best wide receiver move of the offseason last couple weeks ago by getting Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley will be the best receiver addition this whole free agents frenzy when it comes up. People are thinking, wow, how did they pull that one off? How did they get Calvin Ridley for a third-round draft pick? He's not even making that much money. He's under contract. So I think that's a low-key great move for the Jags, and it's going to help Trevor a lot having that number one guy on the outside.
All right, start thinking about the Rose. We're going to ask you in just a moment as we let you go a little earlier today. But also, I want to ask you about this Buffalo game. There's some thought that they're going to get 2.5 feet of snow for the Browns and Bills game. And it comes on the heels of, I think, 2014, they said it was, like this week in 2014, so some 8 years ago. Guys, they got 65 inches of snow in Buffalo.
That's like a Tuesday.
A few days.
That's like Clay talking about how Chicagoans throw a brick at you if he says, yeah, they'll do that if you say it's sunny outside. They'll do it. It snows in Buffalo every day up there. But, yeah, that's a lot, 65 inches.
Clay, would you like to play in that? Like, would that be fun? Or like 30? Let's just say they get 2 feet of snow, and it's going to fall some in ahead of the game, but a lot during the game too. And I don't think it stops until like 10 o'clock on Sunday night in Buffalo. Like, would you be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm playing in this, or would it be fun?
All right, do you want my real, true feelings on this?
Yeah.
I think, all right, well, I would hate it. Okay, but
where were you born, Clay? Where'd you raise?
Chicago.
Okay, so you're used to cold weather.
Illinois, Central Illinois. Yeah.
Okay.
If people say, "Oh, you're from Central Illinois," you're used to the cold. You never get used to the cold. I wouldn't mind if I never played a cold football game. I went out there and played them. I was fully invested. When you're running around, it's not as bad. But do I want to do it? Heck no. Do I want to play in a cold, wet environment? No, it's awful. The first thing I would do every year when we got our schedule, I go, okay. I go, how many cold games am I going to have to play this? And literally what I would do, the first thing I'd go down and check. And I go, I don't want to play in the cold. I go, okay. So we're home when I was in Jacksonville. I go, okay, we're home here, and here. And then, okay, oh, man, we're playing Houston then. We're playing Indy, this is a dome. I really have one cold game this year. And I'm like, that's amazing.
That's a
I do
win.
not want to play in the cold.
This is hard for me to believe, though, because, you talk about like a September Jacksonville game is essentially 100 degrees with 1,000% humidity. I got to imagine that would be more uncomfortable than a huge snowstorm.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It was
I'm not
pretty
playing in the
uncomfortable, but I would rather play in that.
Is the
Only thing
rain
I
worse
hate
than the snow? Or is the
I
snow
didn't
worse
like
than the rain?
The problem with the rain is when you're catching the football.
Yeah,
As
it kind
a
of ruins the
receiver,
game.
You're thinking about it. You want to be able to go out there and just play. Now you're thinking about you have to catch the ball a specific way with your hands. You got to switch your gloves. You guys ever felt these gloves? When it's not raining, these gloves are like, it's like stick 'em. It should be illegal. You put your hand in the ball, you're catching the ball.
Yeah.
Like in the rain gloves, they're decent when it's raining outside, but they don't have the same stick 'em. You actually have to catch the football on your own. So I didn't like the rain because of the glove situation, but the snow is just brutal because you're cold and you're running in the cold. You're numb. If you're not playing that much, it's even worse. You're just sitting on the sidelines. Finally, you get a couple snaps in, and you're in there, and you feel like you're made of glass every time you hit somebody. But I mean, there's some positives, and I always wanted to be a tough guy. I'm never wearing sleeves. But I hated the cold and the snow games, but I always acted like I loved it. Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I'm from Illinois. No, I do not want to play in the snow or the rain. Honestly.
Love it.
By the way, I'll share this two stories that I've seen this year. One, Jamal Agnew and others, even Trevor Lawrence it was 28 degrees, feel like 20 degrees out on the field at Kansas City Sunday. Those guys were out in shorts,
wow.
and they were toughing it out. So it's kind of part of the thing you got to do as a football player, I guess.
Oh,
and
yeah.
actually, I think Trevor was thrown with a sweatshirt on. He's like, I can't do this. I got to take it off. And so he had just no sleeves on. But the other one I'll tell you about is back in Philly, and I'm not going to sell him down the river. So I'm not going to tell you who the player is.
Sounds like a guessing game.
No. You don't even have to do it. I wouldn't tell you. But because I don't think people will take to it lightly. They won't like this.
All right.
But so I'm in the tunnel pregame, and when the guys come out, warming up, Clay. Well, there was one player comes out. He's got the shorts on and everything else, and gloves ready to go, and whatever else you do in your pregame. And he looks out there, looks up in the sky. It's pouring down rain. It's cold. He's like, looks at me, and he's like, nope. Turns right back around and goes back in the locker room. I was like, that was awesome. That was great. And by the way, he played fine that day. But I'm still not telling you who it is.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I've had guys that do that. And a lot of those guys will still play. They don't need to go out there and get wet and get soaked. So I'm with them, man. You got to put on this front. I love playing in the cold. I love this. You're out there with no sleeves on. Deep down, there's nobody wants to be out there in that. I'll tell you that. We'll put on this front. We're these big, tough, macho guys. I'm the same dude. I'm out there in a tank top. It's snowing outside. I'm not going to let them see that. Inside my head, I'm like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
What are you doing out here? Maybe this isn't for you.
Yeah, certainly isn't for me. Clay Harbor, give us the final rose, man. What you got?
All right, so big game for this guy. Obviously, I gave Trevor the rose last week, so I want to go somewhere different. I'm going to go Christian Kirk. Been some talk, is this guy a number one receiver or whatever? He comes back, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards, 9 catches actually. I think Christian Kirk, heck of a game. Christian Kirk, will you accept this rose? Of course he will. He's second one of the year. So he's happy. We're all happy to have him here. Good job, Christian Kirk.
All right. I hope you don't get any snow up in Chicago, Clay Harbor.
Yeah, it's actually snowing today, so I'm staying inside. Yeah.
Hey, we'll talk to you. I think we'll still talk to you next week if you're available prior to Thanksgiving. Yeah. So we'll plan on it next Wednesday
Absolutely.
At 4:00. Have a good week, man.
You too. Later, guys.
All right, that is Clay Harbor, former Jags tight end, Eagles tight end, New England Patriots tight end. By the way, those are some cold spots that he played in.
Yeah, seriously. What is he doing? He's got to call up Miami one of those days.
I think he was real, right? I mean, it's not fun. These guys don't like it.
It's kind of shocking to me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I can see why. It's
not
but fun
like,
doing anything in the cold.
At the same time, it's nice to get a little change of. I'm telling you, if I had to choose between a Jacksonville early September game or a Wisconsin December game or a Buffalo, I'm going Buffalo every time.
Yeah, Kasey, you're from Indiana, so you remember this. See, what I always said, this is why I asked the question to Clay, because the snow actually isn't freezing. Like, when it snows, it actually has, like, a warmth to it, unless it's, like, blustery.
Yeah.
And it's, like, blizzard conditions.
Well, if it's too cold, then it's ice,
Well, that's right,
yeah.
right? Because if it's that cold, there's going to be ice to it. And so you get, like, the amount of snow, it's going to hover around 28 degrees, but it almost kind of, it doesn't feel that bad, Kasey. You remember that as a kid? Like, it wasn't that cold when it snowed.
What you know about snow, Case?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
I do. That's what I remember.
Not too much snow at old Palmetto High School. Huh?
Well, he was up in Indiana in the early days.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we come back. We take a live look in here at UNF men's basketball practice. And by the way, between us, doesn't sound like Coach Driscoll's too happy behind me.
Oh, no.
This practice.
He's going to make you run laps if you're not careful.
Yeah, I might be doing them.
Yeah.
Here in the shots. Why I can't talk too loudly. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Hey, it's Aaron from Brent and Friends, and are you looking to make a difference for our community this Thanksgiving? Show you care and help local families this Thanksgiving by giving to the Basket Brigade Florida, proudly supported by Jack C. Wilson Roofing, the first name in Jacksonville roofing, who believe that one small act of kindness makes a difference to so many. To donate, go to ESPN690.com, and thank you for helping families in Northeast Florida. From Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio, ESPN 690.
Look around you. There's history being made. Has been. Will be. Just something about those blue skies, high banks and high speed, all coming together in one perfect race. And it'll be here sooner than you think. The Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway, February 19th, 2023. Get your tickets now at DayTona500.com.
Boss, wait till you hear this.
Whoa, hang on. We just found 6 houses without Safe Touch security, so let me enjoy my good mood for a little bit, will ya?
Sorry, boss, but Safe Touch is running a buy one, get one free special on their 24/7 recording perimeter guard cameras.
A BOCO on cameras?
Yeah. Listen, get 5-star security surveillance with Safe Touch's 2-way communicator, free installation, and lifetime warranty. Plus, add a doorbell camera for just $99.
Oh, that Lester Jackson! Why is he doing this to me?
Boss, it's just another reason we have the Crooksmas Golden Rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. So much for my good mood.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Monitoring agreement required with approved credit. Beat the holiday rush. Cameras are going fast. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Buying or leasing a car in Jacksonville is the best with Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's luxury auto group. Lexus of Jacksonville and Orange Park, Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville, Orange Park, Jaguar Land Rover, Jacksonville, Porsche, Jacksonville, Fields Cadillac, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. If the luxury car you want isn't in stock, Fields Auto Group will order it. And at Fields, you'll never be charged over sticker price. Stop by a Fields store today and see what world-class service really means. Fields is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fields Auto Group, fieldsauto.com.
We're ready to deal at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting table games, and a sports bar with the NFL ticket, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located on 800 Marketplace Drive off Exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Koala Insulation.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carrie.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Fall is finally here, and hopefully so are milder temperatures. But don't wait to insulate your home. Take advantage of 20% savings off our summer rates and start saving on those utility bills now and all those hot summers to come.
Give us a call and set up your free evaluation at 679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Dear online threats, after all the time we spent together, I'm finally ready to say goodbye. I have to admit, I was careless. At first, I thought maybe you were not so bad. Then, after you moved into my software, I believed I was too weak to stop you. I was wrong. I can do better. So you know what? I have NordVPN now. See you? Never. Everyone can boost their digital confidence with NordVPN. All it takes is one simple click. NordVPN will block online trackers, hide your virtual location, and secure your device from malware-infected files during downloads. It will also detect malicious websites. So catch the Black Friday deal for a 1 or 2 year plan at nordvpn.com and get 3 months for free. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Action Sports Jax. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jax. Watch, listen, subscribe.
Hey, welcome back here on ESPN 690. Brent and Friends, Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kurtz. I was thinking of giving you a live look in with Coach Driscoll here, but they're at a different part of the practice that I thought. So might not do that. Maybe coming up here in just a little bit, but you can see it in the background. We've been here at UNF Arena all day, and one of the reasons we're out here is kind of in a celebratory fashion for the University of North Florida as they put down this new floor. The women's basketball team's already played on it and got a W. The volleyball team's played on it. They got a new sound system and lights. That would actually have been cool if I could have got those guys to kind of like
do like a little Brent thing, like
a light show.
Yeah,
that's what I got to figure.
I was just on that floor a couple of months ago.
Well, not this one.
Well, not the new floor.
Where were you at graduation or something?
No, man. We were watching the Harlem Globetrotters. I was on the floor for the pregame festivities with my son, banging some hoops with some Washington Generals.
Speaking of, well, I'll finish my thought there, and then I'll get back to your Globetrotters. The Bank of England Mortgage Suite, they're about done. That's the last part. So during our show today, we had fire alarms going off as the fire marshal was here testing them out. And hopefully by Saturday, they'll have occupancy and for the 5 o'clock game for the UNF Ospreys in their home opener. And then they might have to put some even more finishing touches. But this thing's just about ready to go. $3 million worth of improvements over the last year or so here at UNF. And it's a big deal because, listen, I've said this for a long time. I think they know this now over at Jacksonville University, too, where they did some football stuff, and then they got back into the basketball world. They put a facility over there. Like for these two campuses, the basketball is the ticket. It should be the banner program, and it's the program here because they don't have football at University of North Florida. Now they don't across the way either. That this is where you make your money. And one trip to the NCAA tournament every 5 years is massive. If you can get 2 trips like in a 7-year span, it is unbelievable. The admissions, the bump.
Really, they see
the
that big a pop?
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. They could not measure how much money they made off that 2015 trip to the NCAA tournament, or how much free advertising they got. And I mean, they had Sarah Walsh, who's a UNF alum. She worked for ESPN. She was here doing a story on them, or like floating down the lazy river. So even that kind of thing. But just seeing your name on the bracket, right? Getting the win the championship in the rush of the court, the ASUN championship game. Like, these are things that you just can't put a price tag on. And then what they saw was this bump in their basketball program from community support to dollars spent to other things. Well, after a while, how long does that last, right? That's now been 7 years. And while you still got that, you've had some more success with championships. It's time to get back to the NCAA tournament around here. Like, that would be a huge bump. And again, if you can do it 2 times in 7 or 8 years, they've really had a hard time the last few years because Liberty just plays a different game, and they joined the ASUN, and they're so good. And so it's been really hard to beat Liberty. The league's gotten better with more basketball traditional schools. But if I go all the way back to Dunk City and Florida Gulf Coast, well, that was a huge thing. Florida Gulf Coast went like 2 years in a row, and it buoyed their program even till today. Like, people still talk about it because they were able to be so good and got an upset win. I think Liberty won in the tournament last year. Maybe it was 2 years ago. And so then if you can do that, then it magnifies it even more. So All these things are a part of building toward that. Can you become dominant in the mid-major world to make it to the NCAA tournament? And that's a snowball that a team they played to open the season, Gonzaga, saw happen, right? And it snowballed into 25 years worth of it.
Yeah, it did.
And now they're not a mid-major. They were a mid-major, by the way. And they were Cinderella. And now they're a power. A yearly power, right?
yeah.
They are Duke, Kentucky, Kansas. And it happened at Gonzaga, of all places. How crazy is that?
Yeah. No one would have expected that a while back, yeah.
What I was going to say to you, actually, Aaron, when you brought up the Globetrotters, is the Savannah Bananas. Did you see this today? They added another game.
Oh, no way. That must have been selling really good.
Well, I think the demand, it was amazing when they announced that game. I had so many people, I actually asked the Shrimp, too, okay, how do we get tickets? Well, it's basically Savannah's put most of that on, and so you got to get them through them. And so there are a lot of people in Jacksonville, how do we get tickets? And then I know somebody bought up a bunch of tickets, and you can get, a group rate. I don't even know how it works because I'm not much of a ticket buyer, but people were interested. And what they've done is they've added another day now because that showed – it's like adding a concert, right? I mean, that's how much interest they had here in Jacksonville with the Savannah Bananas coming down. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's literally how it happens. You put the tickets on sale, and then based on how hot the ticket is, they add more dates. So it's good to see that the crowds are coming out for the Savannah Bananas in town.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think we've talked about this before, but the Bananas are the new Globetrotters.
Yeah, absolutely. Cooler, because now they got social media behind them.
Yeah,
Globetrotters have to make up some ground. No.
Is anybody else in that realm from a sportsy standpoint?
I mean, there's no football team that does that. I don't think there's a synchronized swimming team that does it. So, Live Golf, would you count them or no? I happen to like Live. I know you don't. I'm taking an easy shot here. That's all.
I was thinking the other day, though, if they get rid of Greg Norman, which McElroy's pushing for,
sounds like that's going to happen,
then maybe I would like Live Golf a little more. I just don't like Greg Norman.
Open it up. I think this is the opening to the truce for them, too.
Yeah. If they want Brent on their side, get rid of Greg Norman. We'll be back. Football at 5 on ESPN 690 coming up next.
Buying or leasing a car in Jacksonville is the best with Fields Auto Group, Jacksonville's luxury auto group. Lexus of Jacksonville and Orange Park, Mercedes-Benz of Jacksonville, Orange Park, Jaguar Land Rover, Jacksonville, Porsche, Jacksonville, Fields Cadillac, Jacksonville, and St. Augustine. If the luxury car you want isn't in stock, Fields Auto Group will order it. And at Fields, you'll never be charged over sticker price. Stop by a Fields store today and see what world-class service really means. Fields is a proud sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fields Auto Group, fieldsauto.com.
Injured on the job? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Glenn Levine, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Jacksonville.
The Gun Show is back at the Maxwell Snyder Armory on Normandy Boulevard this Saturday and Sunday. Buy, sell, trade, and browse a huge selection of guns, knives, ammo, and more with concealed weapons classes twice each day. Doors open at 9 a.m. See you at the Gun Show.
Without the ones like you who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7 with supplies and solutions for every industry and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Put their experience to work for you. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. We did in our house. Absolutely love it. Have had it for years. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Call today and save hundreds, even thousands, on a complete home solution for city and well water. Financing available with approved credit. And because the professionals at CGC Water are committed to being your go-to water experts, you can trust their master plumber with all your plumbing needs as well. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I've been a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment for more than 5 years now. CGC Water Treatment, your authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Hello, you have reached the Crooks Arrest Training Center tip line.
Where we give expert advice for crooks.
You may have recently heard that Safe Touch Security is running an insane special for business owners. A 2-for-1 deal on 24/7 perimeter guard cameras.
Yeah, these cameras are game changers.
Correct. They are compatible with a Safe Touch system, a different system, or no system at all, giving business owners a lot of flexibility.
Plus, Safe Touch offers free installation, free storage, and a lifetime warranty, all for less than $1 a day.
So, don't be surprised when you see more and more Safe Touch signs at businesses.
And if you're a crook, be afraid. Be very afraid.
Only one security system is truly the best. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. Nobody beats Safe Touch.
Buy one, get one free cameras are limited and going fast. Beat the holiday rush. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
By the NFL for violating the personal conduct policy. Quarterback Deshaun Watson was on the practice field with his teammates today. He is eligible to make his Browns regular season debut against Houston December 4th. As the Bills get ready to host Cleveland on Sunday, quarterback Josh Allen limited at practice today with a right elbow injury. Allen and the Bills in a funk. Back-to-back losses, and he's had multiple turnovers in those games. Allen, with 5 red zone turnovers this season, needs better situational awareness, advises Canty and Carlin co-host Chris Canty.
It's hard to win games when your quarterback is doing that. And what we anticipate as we get into the second half, this team is going to play better opponents, more closely contested ball games, especially within the division. And right now, the way that Josh Allen is playing, you can't have any degree of confidence that they're going to be able to climb back up in the standings and win the AFC East.
NBA, one night after playing 40 minutes in a win, Maverick star Luka Doncic is out tonight against Houston to rest. Mariners in need of another big bat acquired slugger Teoscar Hernandez from the Blue Jays for reliever Eric Swanson and a pitching prospect.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel, plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jax presents Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
We're going to have to show a little more patience than the year 2 pom-pom people.
Kasey Kurtz.
Yo! But what are we doing, bro? Come on!
And Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Hit him! Hit him! Yeah! Boom! Jack! Boom! Yeah! Boom! Jack! Boom! This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Kasey Kurtz, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
I always scroll through Twitter like a lot.
Yeah.
We got some tweets coming up, probably, actually. Football at 5.
Probably,
Aaron
actually.
Schachter, Kasey Kurtz.
We have them coming up, probably, actually.
Yeah, it's, well, since nobody answered me, I was just probably actually.
Sorry, I was fixing the door.
And we're like working back here, Brent.
No,
I know
no.
you're out there hanging out with
Brent
the basketball
is
team.
working. We're all working. I got tweets for you, buddy.
Not working, just directing a ship.
Yeah, you are.
What ship?
Right into the ground.
Yeah, this ship is not going far, so I wouldn't really take credit for us.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm trying not to. But anyway, the Twitter world says the latest one just a minute ago from Pro Football Talk. Will the hiring of Jeff Saturday spark a trend toward hiring former players with no coaching experience?
I hope so.
And I don't think it will. If it means owners can get coaches for lower salaries, it quite possibly will. And I don't agree with that sentiment. Like, I understand, like, that maybe from a business standpoint, people cheap out on things because it's a business. I don't know if coaches' salaries are that big of a deal to NFL owners. I think it's part of the cost of doing business.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are spending, hundreds of millions on these teams annually. I doubt, spending $3 million a year on your coach or $7 million a year on your coaches is really at the top of your list of things to worry about, unless your team is garbage and you're spending too much on the coach.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? It's like, I mean, there are some things that you might say, okay, we got to be a little bit more frugal here or there, but I don't think somebody's going to be like, yeah, let's go try this guy off the street so I can save some money on the coach. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
I do think there are a lot more former players becoming coaches now than I ever remembered, like quicker after retirement. I just remember growing up as a kid, you'd see a former player as a coach, but in their 50s or like late 40s. And now you're seeing guys in their mid-30s, late 30s ascend that ladder.
Well, think about the Jags coaching staff, right? I mean, you got Doug Peterson, who became a head coach for the first time probably when he was, I don't know, upper 40s at that time would have been. 50, 48, something like that. Mike Caldwell now is a defensive coordinator, could be on, if he does well, could be on the track of being a head coach, but you're right, into his 50s. So there's still those guys that exist.
But like a Press Taylor is a young guy?
He could be, but McVay, but McVay's not a former player. Give us some of the young guys, like Mike McDaniel, not a former player.
O'Connell for the Vikings?
Is he a former player?
No. Are we doing former players?
Yeah, I didn't know. No, just asking.
He is not a former player.
Looks like a backup QB somewhere or something.
No. Brian Dable?
Yeah, so, I mean, like, those on the younger guys are more – they're not former players, Aaron. You know, to the point of this conversation, they're more like these viewed geniuses, you know, of the modern day football world, which, by the way, also usually equates to heavy analytics world.
Yep.
Because if you're going to get former football player, then you're probably not getting
a numbers guy.
Probably not getting a numbers guy.
You're getting a guy who believes in his eye and his gut.
Hey, look this one up if you don't mind. How old was Jack when he got hired here in Jacksonville? Jack Del Rio, because he would have been on the younger side of things, I think. Like probably, I don't know, maybe just approaching 40 because he played a long time. So maybe he was like 38, 40. I don't know.
Jack was hired in 2003. He is
20 years ago.
He is currently 59.
Yeah, so he would have been 39. Yeah, so we're about right. Yep. 39, 40, 38, something like that, whatever the math is on it. And so I guess that's not young like 30 years old. But that's pretty young now. As long as Jack had a career, to be hired as quickly out of playing was fast. And Mike Vrabel's another one.
Yeah, Vrabel's another one. There's a bunch of these guys who are assistants now who are like the hot, trendy picks for possible coaching jobs next year, like a D'Amico Ryans out of the 49ers organization, 38 years old.
Yes, he's always been a hot player. Yeah, Aaron Glenn, by the way.
Aaron Glenn's another one, a really good – there you go. Byron Leftwich, 42, but, you know.
Who's the guy for the Patriots?
Which guy?
Dang it. I'll think of it.
Jared Mayo?
Yes. Yeah. Correct.
Oh, is he in the coaching ranks?
Yeah. He's their linebackers coach.
He was almost the head coach of somebody. He
had
multiple
Houston.
interviews.
I think Houston brought him in.
Yeah.
36 years old.
Wow.
Kellen Moore, 33.
Kellen Moore's
former player.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Raheem Morris, I think, was a player. Rams defensive coordinator.
So, like, how valuable is their quick, even if it's quick, is their coaching expertise? Like, Mike Vrabel, who played for the Patriots forever, I think went to Houston, and I remember the conversation around him at the time. They're like, this guy's a star in the making. Like, that was the book on him, star in the making. I think he was only there for like 2 years, maybe 3 years.
Yeah.
And boom. And he was the head coach and took over from Mike Mularkey up in Tennessee, and it's really, really worked out. And I mentioned a guy like Del Rio, who, by the way, had a successful head coaching career, at both the Raiders and the Jags. I think you would view it as a success. Some of the other guys that we're mentioning, like maybe you don't need 10 years of experience in training to the point of kind of going in the Jeff Saturday category. Now, I'm not sure you need ESPN training to get to the sideline of head coach.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Saturday because Irsay said it in his press conference. It's like, look, I'm not out here looking for some kind of resume or minimum requirement on how many games you coached. I am looking for leaders of men. And that's what he thought Jeff Saturday was. And he and I were right about it the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold on to that one forever.
So I guess, is it that far-fetched? I mean, guys like Vrabel didn't have a lot of training. Guys like Saturday are just, again, he's got 1 week sample. I'm not sure it's going to even last after this last 7 games. But, again, go back to Del Rio. I think Kellen Moore almost was the coach of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I think he was almost the coach of, like, Denver.
I thought he was also up for that Cowboys job before they brought on McCarthy.
He might.
He was definitely – Denver was in on him. Which,
I think Denver was the one.
Maybe
yeah, might have been. Maybe. But now he's been. I feel like Kellen Moore's been around a few years, but it's not like 10. He's obviously only 33 years old. I think you guys just said.
Yeah, 33 for Kellen Moore.
So maybe it doesn't take as much training as we thought, but if you like, Vrabel's a very interesting one because he was around Belichick in that system a lot, and so he knew it from that point of view, from a player point of view. Then he goes to Houston, he gets some of the coaching point of view, but doesn't need a lot of it because he's got the whole culture and what I want to accomplish and all this stuff about him. So my assumption is it's just circumstantial. Case by case.
Yeah.
Like, what's it going to work? I don't know if we're going to get into a trend, although coaching things happen in trendy ways. They really do. Like, anybody who had a handshake with McVay for a 3-year span got a job.
Yeah.
That's true. Like, that happened.
It's still happening.
It's still happening. And by the way, it might not stop happening. O'Connell, who you mentioned, Kasey, they're doing pretty well up there in Minnesota.
They're doing real well.
Does that guy get any credit, by the way?
You don't hear him talked about. Do you hear Jefferson all day? You hear Cousins
McDaniel,
all day?
But you hear McDaniel, the job he's doing in Miami.
You hear McDaniel all the time when they talk about him. I mean, they talk about Tua a lot, but I hear McDaniel all the time when I listen to these nauseating Dolphins fans.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they're not getting a little more love up there for O'Connell. And that was like the last hire, wasn't it? Like out of left field, Minnesota, like, what are you doing? And
because
they
were
had to
waiting
wait the
for
longest.
him. Yeah,
had to wait the longest. And it started to come about that he was going to be the guy. But I feel like they had done like 3 or 4 other interviews, but they kind of targeted him and knew that he was going to be the guy right from the jump. So in my opinion, that's the way it looked, at least, or it was perceived. So it's interesting to see where the Saturday one goes. I still think from a respect standpoint, you've got to have credentials. But you said leader of men. And if you can be a leader of men, whether you're off the street or not, I think people will respect you. There's something weird about the pro athlete, in my opinion. I would think that stuff would just fall on deaf ears sometimes with those guys. But there's
Which
something
kind
they
of
wanna,
stuff?
Well, whatever it is, like whatever the motivational tactic is. Right? Whatever the inspirational message is. But it doesn't. Like, remember when the Jags beat the Raiders 2 weeks ago, and they referenced, like, some inspirational speech they had seen the night before?
The Jocko videos.
Jocko video, right? and I'm like, to me, sometimes it surprises me that wouldn't
works.
surprise me if it gets a high school team up,
Yeah.
or a college team up, or maybe even, like, our sales team inside our station.
Del Rio, I remember.
It's a Sundays on Mondays thing, dog. They don't need that.
Listen.
They don't need that.
This is what Sundays on Mondays works. I remember one flight, Del Rio showed the team. He insisted they play 300 on the in-flight movie.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, man, it really amped these guys up. Coming off the plane, they were looking to run through a wall. It was pretty funny how that happens.
I'll tell you this, the Pop Warner Steelers down in Palmetto, they showed us Rudy one night before the game, and we only lost by 26.
Nice.
We usually lost by 50.
Yeah.
So we were motivated. We still got killed, though.
Like it.
Pretty bad.
Yeah. Hey, if you're watching the video feed, you say hello to the entire Osprey team right now. Good to see you guys.
They're all dabbing
Good
you
luck
up?
this week. Yeah, baby. They always
Look
you
at
bet.
Brent. Look at Brent thinking he's important. Yeah.
These guys are walking by going, how come the new equipment manager is
Carter
wearing a
Hendrickson,
headset?
man, he's here for year 14 at UNF. You bet, man. That's the way they work over here at UNF.
They're like,
They
why
always say hello.
does the water boy have a microphone? What's happening?
Why is the water boy have a microphone? That's a good one. They probably were wondering that. Some of them have been around long enough. They know that's not the case. But I should have asked that. Like, what motivational message did you get today? But again, I guess that makes football players, as tough as they are, a lot like the rest of us.
Yeah, we're
they
all human,
really
right?
would like
Yeah.
Sundays on Mondays.
Yes.
That's what we're getting.
Yes.
Hey, can you take us through some tweets?
Yeah, I got. We'll start off with a fun stat that I saw from a Twitter account called Titans Therapy. And the stat reads like this.
I need Titans therapy.
The Titans have gained 139 first downs this year. That's the lowest by any team in the NFL. The Jaguars, conversely, have gained 220 first downs this year. That's good for second best in the NFL. One team is 6-3, the other is 3-7.
That is ridiculous.
Welcome to the NFL.
How many is it?
139 first downs for the Titans, 220 for your Jaguars.
That is nauseating.
How crazy is that stat? They can move the ball, just not into the end zone.
Well, first down, they can move. Yeah, the Jags you're talking about.
Yes.
Titans hardly even move the ball.
At all. Vrabel's just watching the game in slow motion.
These numbers, by the way, it's just you can continue to pile up these numbers that make absolutely no sense.
In terms of how the Jaguars have fared this year? Yeah.
Second in the league, and you said the Titans were worst in the league?
Worst in the league. 6 wins.
That's amazing.
Just goes to show you what kind of defense they're playing with, though.
Yeah, they are playing better defense. I guess defense still does win.
I want to
just
bring
ask Kasey.
I want to bring the second tweet from Dov Kleiman. We're going back to Josh McDaniels. We checked in on him yesterday. We're going to check in on him today. Partly because the picture is great, but also because there's a little more to this information we were talking about yesterday. Remember, yesterday we quoted the owner talking about Rome wasn't built in a day as he supported Josh McDaniels. Today, the report out of, I believe the LA Times was the one who reported this, Dov Kleiman, then re-reporting it on Twitter. The reason the Raiders won't fire Josh McDaniels is financial. They don't have the money to fire him, is the quote. The team is cash poor, can't afford to fire McDaniels and then pay another coach. According to the LA Times, he'll be the coach this year and next year.
How are they cash poor? Because of the move to Vegas?
Who knows? I don't look at those books. All I know is you got these billionaire business owners running these businesses, and it's always shocking when you find out they can't afford something.
It doesn't surprise me that Mark Davis is not as rich as we think. Look at his hair.
Well, he's out there
You're
getting
one to talk, dog.
Yeah, you get the 8-minute haircut, bro. Or is it $8 haircut? I forget. They're both kind of the same.
Listen, my looks better than Mark Davis's, all right?
I'm not even going to argue that.
Barely, but.
I'm not even going to argue that.
That is a wild story. I think I'm going to have to take a deeper dive on. I don't think I've heard that a lot when people might. You see it in college, right? FSU, by the way, there was some story like, hey, how much money do they have? Can they afford to, if Mike Norvell wasn't the guy, would he even move on? Can they afford that? Can others, places like LSU, yeah, they can afford it. Like, how much can you afford to eat? I mean, I guess, like, that would be a story in Jacksonville. Again, it would be a very hard sell because Shad Khan's, like, one of the richest men in the world. But if they're still paying Urban Meyer and they had to some reason get rid of Doug Peterson because he was putting on if it was like a McDaniel situation, like, I could see, like, okay, they're not doing that because they still might have to pay Urban and Peter. But that's not the situation, I don't think. Like, I wonder how much longer they're paying Mayock and – like, what happened with the Gruden contract?
Is there Gruden money on there? Probably not.
Well,
that was probably like a cause firing.
Oh, true. I was going to say there's got to be – I mean, Gruden's probably not just going to give up, kind of like Urban, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to get your money, so I'm sure they're dealing with that.
I think some of these owners or GMs or organizations sometimes take some chances on some of these contracts, maybe do them a little differently. Obviously, the Bobby Bonilla contract from the Mets, that's been reported on for decades at this point. Edwin Diaz just signed a similar contract
yes, he did,
where they're deferring the money. Yeah. So,
what a genius.
And it's not like Steve Cohen is poor. He's a billionaire. He's like a hedge fund guy. But, you know, I guess they're just trying to manage their finances in a way that they deem fit. But just shocking whenever I hear that stuff.
Let's just hope none of these owners were heavily involved in, like, FTX or something.
You know they were. Lots of people were. There's billions of dollars caught up there.
Hopefully not all of it for them, or they'll be selling.
Yeah. All right, next tweet comes from the NFL Research Department. Forgive me as I indulge in a little bit of Jets love here.
You don't actually do that. You know, it's one of my disappointments of you on the show.
Well, I didn't think they deserved it. They hadn't earned it yet.
They've earned it now, though.
Quite frankly, they haven't, but I'm in. I'm all in.
I do love it, though, because, like, this is what I would do with, like, the Rays.
Well, like, the quarterback is still putrid. I mean, I love.
That's the problem
I would
for you,
love to love Zach Wilson, but I don't have faith in that offense yet. And the defense looks great.
How'd your mom
You
go?
should be shouting from the mountaintops about Robert Saleh and the job he's doing.
Saleh, Joe Douglas, all those guys, great. The defense is amazing. And even some of the guys on the offense are great. But, you know, you spent that second pick on Zach Wilson. You still don't really know what you got. And then you got a shot going into next year to anyway, let's go.
Can you imagine if they had
tweet.
Justin Fields?
Let's make me feel better. All right. How about this from NFL Research? 3 stats right here. The New York Jets defense on pace to be the first team in the Super Bowl era to rank top 10 in scoring and total defense the season after ranking last in both, to your point about Robert Saleh, Brent. The other 4 instances in history happened in 1955 or earlier when there were 12 or fewer teams in the NFL. That's stat number 1. Number 2, Sauce Gardner A guy that a couple of people here in this town think the Jaguars should have drafted.
Me.
Sauce Gardner has allowed the fewest pass yards, 26 per reception, 4.3, and yards per target, 1.6 in man coverage this season, minimum 10 man coverage snaps. That's of all cornerbacks. And then one more Sauce Gardner stat. Sauce Gardner has allowed three catches for 2 yards on 81 man coverage snaps since week 4.
That's insane.
This guy is the epitome of a shutdown corner by all metrics, having a better year, rookie year at least, than Darrelle Revis, one of the best corners, at least in Jets history, if not of all time.
Yes, he is of all time. You know what's interesting about the Sauce Gardner stuff is why do rookies – is that a position that you can't, like, look at the film and then take advantage of? You know, like we're talking about Trayvon Walker got off to a pretty nice start. Well, then they look at some film and they say, okay, we're going to try to do this and game plan against him. Then Lloyd, okay, they're obviously noticing some stuff about Lloyd where his eye discipline is or something they can take advantage of. Well, why don't you do that with a corner? Or is it just because it's out on the island and usually one-on-one that you really can't do that?
That's a good question. I think some guys are just built differently for these positions. They're better man coverage or better zone coverage, and if they're lucky enough to catch the team that's playing them that way, then they're really going to deliver, and then other guys just don't. I don't know about game planning for these guys because it seems like people can't, right?
Yeah, and then the next step for Gardner, can he do it again? Because that's what I was thinking about. Like, all right, can he do it again next year? He's having a terrific year.
Yeah.
But now once everybody has a year and they know about him and blah, 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 blah. Well, but again, I'm kind of like answering my own question. I'm not sure it matters much. Like Jalen Ramsey, you knew pretty well in 2016. He was pretty good. He got better in 2017.
But, you know, he also had A.J. Bouye across from him. Gardner's got DJ Reed across from him, who's playing really great.
He's been really good.
And you
probably the
wonder,
undertold story of that,
yeah,
right?
for sure. And you got to wonder whether it's Reed making Gardner look great or Gardner making Reed look better or both working together.
I would say Gardner's probably making him look better.
I mean, he's so talented. I'm so excited about him. Anyway.
But you can get picked on, too, when the other guy's really good.
Yeah,
and that's not
true.
happening.
That's not happening.
So it's hard to pick on the Jets right now. That is pretty insane that they were 32-32. Like, that's tough to do, to be like the worst team in both categories.
The worst team. I mean, putrid. We're looking at me and my friends, looking at Robert Saleh last year, going, I thought you were a defensive guy. What happened? Well, this is it, man. He's really putting it through. How about Warren Sharp? Another stat. Right. This time it's on Russell Wilson. According to Warren Sharp, Russell Wilson's awareness is atrocious. He was hit 17 times last week. 17, most since Charlie Fry in 2006. When he throws the ball within 2.6 seconds, which is the NFL average, 3 hits, no sacks. When he held the ball beyond 2.6 seconds, 14 hits, 6 sacks. Yikes. Wow. What's wrong with Russell Wilson? Is it the wide receivers on the team and the tight ends on the team? Is it the offensive line, or is it Russ? He's got to know better.
Yeah, I think it's Russ out of sync. Like, that is a quarterback that is out of sync. And when you're out of sync, guess what goes? Your timing. And so, therefore, those things don't surprise me. See, that's why I say this about Trevor, especially right now. I think he is in a place where he's playing fast. He's making decisions fast. He knows how to maneuver in the pocket fast. He wasn't there a few weeks ago or a month ago or 6 weeks ago. There were times it was inconsistent. Sometimes it'd be good, sometimes it wouldn't. I think these last 2 games, it's been like all the time he's been good. And so I think with confidence comes in sync, comes timing and kind of playing your game. And listen, Russell Wilson has been like, I mean, would you guys kind of describe Russ as like a backyard football player type?
I mean, yeah, with the way he used to roll out to the side and just kind of wait for someone to get open, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like Mahomes does it, right? Mm-hmm. Josh Allen does it.
Sure.
Lamar Jackson sometimes
Aaron Rodgers,
does it.
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers sometimes does it. Now, Tom Brady doesn't play like that. but no, these other guys, they are very backyard football-y when things break down. He looks mechanical to me. He doesn't look very backyard football. He does not. He looks like a shell of himself.
Do you think he ever comes back from this?
I got to believe he does.
So you don't think it's over?
I saw a stat, guys, the other day. I don't know what the context of it. I think it was some kind of like, maybe it was passer rating. But it was his rank in the NFL in the last, 12 years or however long he's played in the NFL. And it was okay to start somewhere. He might have been 12th one of the years in the first few years. But then it was second, third, second, fourth, second, seventh, fifth, all the way up until this year. And now it's like 28th.
Ugh.
Like whatever the metric was, it's 28th.
That's what makes it so hard to believe that it's his fault.
And yeah, it's like, well, wow.
Pete Carroll got it right.
And Pete Carroll might have got it right because Gino's playing better.
Like,
but
way
I'm not
better.
sure Pete Carroll will get it right in the long term. I'm not giving up on Russ just yet. Well, I got to believe that he still has that. The guy, like, would you have signed a guy that was that good all those years in a row? Like, I can't blame the Broncos for signing a guy like that.
He was great last year. He was good last year.
You couldn't have seen going from 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 7th, all the way to 28th.
Nah. But to your point, though, you just said it like Pete Carroll in the long term might not have got it right. Well, Pete Carroll's long term might be this year. So maybe he did get it right in the long term because this is it.
And you can't, I don't know about laying Geno Smith at Pete Carroll's feet. It just seems like such an anomaly that a guy breaks out for his career at age 32.
I agree, and there's no doubt they had planned that Drew Lock was going to be their starter. That's what I believe.
Could you
and
imagine?
He was just horrible.
Because at the end of the season, Geno Smith is a free agent, right?
Yeah.
And at 32, 33 next year, maybe they re-sign him on a short deal. Maybe it's a mid-deal, but for a mid-quarterback. But it's just crazy to think at the beginning of the year we're laughing about Drew Lock versus Geno Smith, and now he might be one of the most sought-after free agents this offseason.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And by the way, I'll give you another example of not even they saw this coming, Kasey, because they were going Drew Lock's direction.
Yeah. And then they figured out what I knew this whole time. He's worse than mid. He's not even mid. He would love to be mid.
You remember all the conversations we always have, like Indianapolis gets lucky, right? They get Peyton Manning way back in the day. Then they stink for a year, and then they get Andrew Luck, and all that. Well, maybe it's really Seattle that gets fortunate. They signed Matt Flynn to this insane, goofy contract coming out of Green Bay, and they draft Russell Wilson. He wins the job and takes him to the promised land a couple of times, wins the Super Bowl, and is good for a decade. They get rid of Russell Wilson, and he falls flat on his face. They figure they're going to play Drew Lock, and they end up playing Geno Smith, and we were asking, what the heck did they just sign him to a $7 million backup deal for, or whatever it was? And now he's like in the MVP conversation.
And they got a top 10 pick because the Broncos stink.
Maybe the luckiest QB organization really is the Seattle Seahawks.
They might be reloading this. I got one more tweet for you before we go to break.
All right.
Sticking with the quarterback. Let's go over to Atlanta. Falcons coach Arthur Smith on the quarterback situation. Quote, "There is no situation. There was never a situation ever. I don't know where that. You understand why the question's getting asked. You lose 2 games in 5 days. Everybody wants to panic." End quote. You guys with it? Arthur Smith refusing to put the rookie in the game, sticking with Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, I think he's got to, because right now they're in the middle of it. I'm not going with a rookie in the middle of it. I don't see the benefit. I mean, look what Steelers tried to do. They made the move, and they go to Pickett, and he struggled, and it's not been great for him, but he'll probably get better because of it. Mm-hmm. But they're not in the mix. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons are really right in the middle of things in that NFC South. So I think you've got to ride with Mariota.
Even if they start losing games?
Well, I don't know how long you do it. I mean, maybe this continues, but it really, in fairness, it was a couple of games. I mean, he's been overall better than people thought, I think, this season for the Atlanta Falcons, and they are better than people thought they were going to be.
He's looked better, and the team has been better, but I'll tell you this, your 2 biggest weapons on that team, Kyle Pitts and Drake London, are having a hard time with Marcus Mariota at quarterback.
And, Brent, you kind of argued against yourself, right? They put in Pickett, and it hasn't been good. Well, it might be good next year. So the Falcons, they're going to put in a rookie next year, or I guess second-year player that's technically a rookie, and then you wasted a whole nother season.
I don't think Ritter ever starts for the Falcons.
Put him in. I do. Put him in now. Let it be bad now. Work with the boys. Come back, and you're ready to roll next year. Sorry, Marcus. And look, they're in it, but like Tom they're going to win the division.
Yeah,
and
but
next year,
you can't say that now, though.
And next year, no Tom Brady in the division.
Yeah.
Have your guy ready for next year. You play him now.
Are you sure about that, though? Because now without Giselle in the house, Tom's got a lot of free time on his hands.
Yeah, bro. He'll go somewhere else. Miami.
How enticing, though?
San Fran.
For Tom Brady, you're basically the second best quarterback by stats in the league this year in terms of yards, right? So you still got it. Going into your 46th year on this planet.
That's wild.
How enticing would it be for him to try and hit 50 in the league?
Well, I think he's probably thinking about it.
He's got to be, right?
Enticing, yeah.
He's going to go home and look at pictures on the wall. Come on, Tom.
Hey, I'd just say this. If you're an Atlanta fan,
enough.
I think there's always excitement about going to the other guy. Like, I can see why the conversation's taking place, but I don't know what he's doing in practice. Like, you don't know how he looks.
Yeah, we have no
Ritter's
idea.
not like this star guy that everybody thought he was going to be one. So kicking the tires when you're a half a game out of the playoff race, I can't buy that, man. I don't understand that. I wouldn't understand that. But now, in 2 games, we might know. and then you still get a 5-game sample of Ritter.
That's a
So
good
you
point.
can still do it, Kasey. I just don't know if you do it right now.
Yeah,
Do
Kasey,
it now.
bad take, Kasey.
Get
bad
him
take.
in there.
Terrible.
His teammate from Cincinnati looks okay. He's the same
Oh, yeah.
guy.
It's another Cincinnati guy.
Put him in there. Desmond Ritter for Heisman.
All right, Aaron, you're out of here. Good luck planning that kid's birthday party.
Yeah, we'll have fun with it.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.
We'll be back on ESPN 690 Football at 5 right after this. Don't forget, Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton comes up at 6 o'clock as well.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Rather cool tonight under partly to mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures dropping into the mid-40s by morning, and a partly sunny, cool Thursday with highs near 65. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Right now, get 42% off everything in the store. Don't buy until you get our price.
Ready to swoop in the fall of 2022? The UNF Ospreys are ready with a lot of momentum on campus. New improvements at UNF Arena with basketball season right around the corner and tickets already on sale. The fall schedule underway in volleyball and men's and women's soccer, also men's and women's cross country. Get the latest news, schedules, results, and information on tickets for all things Ospreys at UNFospreys.com. Join the Osprey Club, attend a game or a match. Be a part of the momentum at the University of North Florida right now at UNFospreys.com.
Win big at Best Bet St. Augustine. On November 24th and 25th, Best Bet St. Augustine will be giving away $20,000 in cash giveaways. Every 30 minutes from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., a seated player at a table game will win $500. And a seated player at a poker game will also win $500. Best Bet St. Augustine is located on 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjax.com.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Put their experience to work for you. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. We did in our house. Absolutely love it. Have had it for years. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Call today and save hundreds, even thousands, on a complete home solution for city and well water. Financing available with approved credit. And because the professionals at CGC Water are committed to being your go-to water experts, you can trust their master plumber with all your plumbing needs as well. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I've been a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment for more than 5 years now. CGC Water Treatment, your authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Gain presents a tale of longing and long-lasting scent. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Add Gain scent beads for an even longer lasting scent.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and more. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
Find what you love what you find. Always lowest prices at Total Wine and More. Delivery available. Drink responsibly. B21.
It takes an amazing staff and incredible customers to be in business for over 80 years. This month of November, the Nimnick family, led by Billy and Lee, is reflecting with thanks and gratitude. Nimnick knows that how you treat people matters, and for over 8 decades, they have been humbled by your trust in their dealerships. My family has purchased 5 different vehicles with the Nimnick family, and you can feel the sincerity of the people and relationships. NimnickBuickGMC.com and on Phillips Highway, GMC, we are professional grade.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Jacksonville area attorneys. Offices in Jacksonville and by appointment only in Ponte Vedra Beach. Online at CordellCordell.com. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Mortno from Brent and Friends on ESPN 690. Tune into our high-energy, multi-platform show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690 and a variety of video streaming platforms as well. As the seasons change, so do the sports topics. It's football season now, and we're bringing you all things sports weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. And you can tailgate with us at the Duval House for every Sunday home game this football season. Fueled by Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
When Smart Tools give you control, you own it. When you're confident in your decisions, you own it. When you're sure someone's got your back, you own it. At Community First Credit Union, you can own it all. With free digital banking, fewer fees, and a team that's ready to help, you're in control of your money so you can live your life your way. Go ahead and own it. Add an account today at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
The Gun Show is back at the Maxwell Snyder Armory on Normandy Boulevard this Saturday and Sunday. Buy, sell, trade, and browse a huge selection of guns, knives, ammo, and more with concealed weapons classes twice each day. Doors open at 9 a.m. See you at the Gun Show.
It's the Blitz Scoreboard Show every Friday night at 9 p.m. on ESPN 690. Join Brent Martineau, Kasey Kurtz, and the Hall of Famer Kevin Sullivan for scores, analysis, interviews, and live video of games on the ESPN 690 social media platforms.
Hey, welcome back on ESPN 690. We are here at UNF Arena as the men's basketball practice for the Ospreys just about finishes up.
Yeah, how are they still going? It feels like they've been there as long as we've been here.
Yeah, they did a weight room, then they got a hard practice in, it looked like, and now doing some free throw shooting, I think just extra work hanging around here at UNF Arena, and they'll get a couple more days of work in, and then they got a home opener coming up on Saturday at 5 o'clock. They'll still play the likes of Kentucky, and who am I missing? Who else they play? Top 4 in the country. I think they had 2, 3, and 4 at one time.
Oh, they did.
Now it's escaping my mind. But Kentucky's still on the radar.
It's one of those
Gonzaga.
North teams.
Is it?
I don't know. I'll find it.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me either. Stretch. I don't need to stretch. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schechter has left.
Houston.
Oh, Houston. See, that's why it's tough. It's not like a routine team that was in the top 5.
Well,
but, man, that program's gotten good, huh?
Yeah, I tell you what, you know how I feel about Houston? You remember that airport delay? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, I hope Matthew Driscoll and the boys win by 68. I hope they do every week, but especially in this one.
Yeah, if they could get that one by 68, they'd be doing some things, that's for sure. They do have a talented team here at UNF. We'll give away a couple of tickets to Saturday's game if you want to come check out the new arena and on display. And this team that's going to be really good, especially against light competition. They will be fantastic this year, and they'll make a run in the ASUN for sure. Usually just the winner of the conference tournament will go to the NCAA tournament. But that's the expectation here, that they can make a run. And Matthew Driscoll's talked already quite a bit about how good the league is in the ASUN this year, now 14 teams deep. Brent Martineau, Kasey Kurtz here on a Wednesday. Hey, got the Jaguars All Access coming up on a Wednesday, so I'm going to run over to String Sports Brewery here in just a bit, and 7 o'clock on Fox 30 you can watch, or you can come out to the show, and Paul Posluszny joins us on the show tonight. Salute to service nominee for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, Kasey, you're kind of a Jags guy now, but Puz is one of these guys that when you bring his name up, there's a segment of the fan base especially. I don't know like where his ranking would be of popularity as a player, but I got to believe it's pretty high. And people love Paul Posluszny. Like, they just love what I think he's all about, and I think Jacksonville has a lot of this in in them, right? This blue-collar feel. There's a lot of that in our Northeast Florida area. And I think Puz represents that. Lunch pail, tough-nosed guy, does things the right way, not flashy. Like, we can appreciate those guys that are flashy, too, especially if they're good players. But I think there's something about at least a segment of the population or maybe a lot of the fan base for the Jags that appreciates a player like Paul Posluszny. And when I put his name out there or throw his name out there or bring his name up, I get so much reaction about Paul Posluszny coming to a show or being there or being here.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild, like more so than a lot of other players. And I didn't always know that he would rank that high on the list, so it always impresses me.
Yeah, the people love him. I love him. He's a good dude, right? And I think for all the reasons you just said, right, just everything that he did, even though it wasn't the flashiest, but he's – and I don't want to say you could be Paul Posluszny because I can't be, but, again, he gives you that vibe, right? Like, you work hard, do the right things, like you could be this guy. Like, again, I can't. But – you get that vibe from her, or at least I do. So I think you'll have a good turnout tonight, Brent. I think a lot of people will be out there to see him. Still beloved, no doubt about it. Feels very Jacksonville guy, right? Even though he's not from here, but he was here for a long time. So I think you'll have a good turnout tonight, Brent.
I think we hit on why. Like, I do ask these questions sometimes. Like, I know why people loved Maurice Jones-Drew. He was super talented and good and one of the best in franchise history. And Fred Taylor and Mark Brunell gave people so many good memories. And Tony Baselli, and the list goes on and on, especially about those early days. And then in 2017, you've got like the Calais Campbells, and I know nobody wants to love the Jalen Ramseys, but the Blake Bortles, you gave them a memory. Now, Puz was on that team, but his role had kind of diminished by then before he retired in 2018. And so he was part of that. But even before that, even though the Jags lost, people loved Puz, like almost in that same realm. Like, I almost feel like you've got to win or give the fans something, a memory, reasons to adore you in a way. And like, Puz had a pick six against Peyton Manning. But Puz also wasn't like going to lead the league in interceptions or sacks. He did go to one Pro Bowl in 2013. He also started his career up in Buffalo. Like, I guess that's why it catches me by surprise that he wasn't like, he didn't put up these gaudy numbers. He's not going to go down as one of the great players of like NFL history, I don't think. Very good player.
Very good player.
But still, his adoration from the fan base, I mean, is akin to a lot of those other examples I gave you, and I understand the reason why everybody loves them so much. Again, it's about the memories, the successes, the this, the that, the childhood days of watching Fred or Mark or those guys or Jimmy Smith. But I guess that's why I asked the question. I don't really have the greatest of answers other than the ones we've supplied. I think people just appreciated the person and kind of player Puz was.
It's the same thing, Brent. Ben Zobrist. He's that guy. Pat
Is that
Maroon.
how Rays fans feel that way?
Oh, yes. Yes, 100%. Ben Zobrist, it wasn't flashy. He got his work done. He signed autographs for you when the game was over. He said thank you and went on with his day and came back and did it all tomorrow. It's the same thing. Same exact deal.
Yeah, and I guess there's this other element that we appreciate about people.
If you didn't have them, you'd miss them.
You would miss them, but not only that, there's something we appreciate about people in today's day and age especially, that he would be the same guy without a camera, a microphone, or anybody talking about him. He's that guy. And that's hard to be that guy nowadays because brand is so important. You're always getting attention, like good or bad. And Puz doesn't like it. Like, I always felt like I got to drag Puz to these things tonight to come out there and be in front of a camera.
Right.
Like, I think now we get Puz. I don't know this for sure, but I think, like, we almost got him on a few weeks ago, and then he couldn't make it. He was out of town. He couldn't get back in time. But, like, he's excited about coming on the show tonight. And I think in part it's not because he wants to see me. It's not because he wants to be in front of the TV camera.
It's not because of you.
It's not because of that he doesn't mind signing, but he doesn't need to be signing and taking pictures. I think it's because he misses the damn game so much, and he wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, I really do feel like he's to that point. Because I'm telling you, I've texted with Puz many times since he's retired, and he misses the game.
Well, open invitation on the show, Brent. Come on.
More than any, yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like, getting them into these kind of elements is not easy. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, life's not easy, Brent. Pull it together for us here.
Hell,
tell him we got Rasheen. Tell him we got Mojo. He'll be like, the boys, I'm in on Tuesdays.
He's actually very much like Rasheen.
I know.
In that sense. Like, Rasheen, I think, enjoyed, as he would say it, being in the shadows for a bit. Like, get out of the limelight.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Rasheen played a position where he showed some flash now.
Yeah.
When he'd make a play. Like, he knew who he was. But, and Puz, you know, like, I try to remember, I was in Denver, and I think I was on the sideline for that when he picks off Manning. And I do think he kept that ball. I have to ask him it today. But Puz is the guy that would have that moment against Manning and probably just give it to the official.
Right.
Not spike it, not jump up in the crowd.
Yes.
Not do one of these celebration bowling ones that they do now.
Those are good, though. I'll tell you that.
Like,
those are good.
Like, would Puz really go down and join the rest of the team and pose for a picture the way everybody does after a turnover now?
Probably not. He'd be on the bench like, come on, guys, we gotta figure out what we're doing next drive. You know what I'm saying?
He's such an old school guy. I do think people appreciate that about him.
The boys would be taking pictures. They'd be like, where's the football? And he'd just be chilling on the bench. He's like, hey, we're good, guys. Don't worry.
So, looking forward to the show tonight. I mean, I don't know how I got here for that long, but I'm always, you know me, man, I like the psychology of stuff.
Yeah, you do.
And I think he's an interesting one and a terrific player. That was one thing about Puz. You knew what you were getting. Terrific player for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He joins us tonight. Jaguars All Access. That'll be 7 o'clock. String Sports Brewery in Springfield. So come on out, say hello to Puz. Probably haven't seen him in a long time. You know, he was flying planes and got his pilot's license. I think he went and got his business degree. We're going to check up on all those things with Paul Puzlesny coming up tonight, 7 o'clock. We put a bow on the show when we come back from UNF Arena. Before we do that, how about we give away a couple tickets to Saturday's game, 5 o'clock. You can see the brand new arena. You can watch these guys play Saturday at 5. Be caller number 3-904-362-9901. 362-9901. Tickets are yours to Saturday's game for the Ospreys. We'll be right back.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Main office, Jacksonville. It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf, or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18. My home course. Make it your home course, too.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's time to turn on the savings, even on used. Toyotathon is on at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. That's over 400 pre-owned on the lot. All makes, all models, ready to test drive, save big, and take home today. Plus, Arlington's 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. What are you waiting for? Get Toyotathon savings at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned today. Shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for full details.
If you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997, and a staff that wants to help you. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business is now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes, embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good.
Okay, can I have everybody's attention for just a second?
Morgan's media planning firm just landed a multi-million-dollar client.
Because we won the pitch.
She needs to staff up before trafficking hits a traffic jam.
So we're going to need research, planning, buying, obviously, and probably data analytics.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens FindRx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th. Find a plan that's right for you at walgreens.com/Medicare.
Thank you for calling Navy Federal Credit Union. How can I help you?
Hi, if I'm in the Army, not in the Navy, am I still eligible for membership?
Yes, you are.
What about my sister in the Air Force?
Her too.
And my dad's a Marine.
We serve all branches of the military, veterans, and their families.
My dog is a retired military working dog.
I'll see what I can do.
Find out if you're eligible at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Hey, let's put a bow on this show over the next couple of minutes. Brent, friends at ESPN 690. Good to have Matthew Driscoll stop by earlier, and thanks to him, and everybody here at UNF Arena for having us out. Check out the new arena for the first time, and we'll be here on Saturday, of course, for the basketball game, as well as they finish up the suite and put the final touches on this big renovation that they've had here at the arena and the improvements that they've made. Basketball season just underway for the Ospreys, 0-2 after falling to Gonzaga and also Washington out there on the West Coast. But back home for now, Brent Martineau, Kasey Kurtz. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton coming up at 6 o'clock. By the way, we have another edition of the Blitz Scoreboard Show coming up on Friday, and that will be at 9 o'clock just on social media because Florida State basketball plays that night. So friendly reminder that you'll hear the basketball game right here on ESPN 690. You can see our show, the Blitz Scoreboard Show. We'll do Committed to the Uncommitted, all the playoff action, and that will take place at 9 o'clock. Might just go until 10 o'clock that night because we might actually use the big studio down in TV land. Try to dress it up a little bit, a little different. So working on that. Still good. Speaking of putting the finishing touches on, I'm still doing that a little bit. But that is a plan for now. I don't know if I thought Matthew Driscoll, I saw him down on all fours. I was going to go show this. I thought somebody was going to jump on his back and try to dunk or something. Maybe I could do that.
You could try. I don't think you'd get up there, though.
Nah. They used to do this thing where you could, they used to have two guys. You jump in the air and they would, send you, your whole body up another, 4 feet so you can dunk. You ever, might have been a hard thing. You might have had to send somebody.
Yeah, I didn't have that similar experience that you're explaining there.
You got to go with the Muggsy Bogues guys on that, where you just throw them to the rim.
Yeah.
The tie guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would happen. Could you dunk?
No.
6 foot, 5?
Yes. Couldn't dunk.
Probably be cool if you could dunk.
I think I did a volleyball, actually, once. I couldn't get it up. The problem was I couldn't get I have big hands, too. I couldn't get the ball up there.
Yeah, so you could.
I could get up there, but I couldn't get the ball up there.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. That makes sense. That's the next part of it, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you could take, like, a tennis ball or something small and be able to do it.
Yeah.
But then, like, dunking two hands is a totally different thing.
It's for some reason it is because, like, I don't know if the aerodynamics aren't as good or what, but you get the second hand up there, it's not as easy.
Yeah, so, like, you don't jump as high or your reach isn't as high.
More friction. I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Well, I guess it makes kind of sense, right? I mean, you can put one shoulder down to make the other extend if you're going one-handed.
Maybe I was just garbage. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I've tried on, like, an 8-foot rim before.
Oh, I could slam an 8-foot rim.
Well, I'm just saying, back in the day, like, it was still hard to do it two hands, even though you could, even once you got it the one-handed way.
Yeah. True.
It's just that there's something different about it. Like, I wonder if that's a cool feat, by the way, when you're a kid, is trying to dunk.
Yeah, everybody gives it their best effort.
That's a mission accomplished. Like, if you could dunk, you're like, oh, that's cool.
It was a good talking point at the lunch table. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Not too many guys I can remember in our school that could dunk. We had a smaller basketball team, but some of those guys could get it done. Nobody on the baseball team that I remember. Then you get to college, though. A lot of those guys were former basketball players, too, and they could do it. So that's where the difference was. All right, that's going to wrap up a show from UNF Arena. And, again, Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton coming up. Jaguars All Access, 7 o'clock. On Fox 30 tonight, and we will have Paul Puzzlesny out there at String Sports Brewery, and then the week continues. Back in studio tomorrow, 3 o'clock, for Brent and Friends on ESPN 690. Kasey will be getting away for the next couple of days. Have a good trip. Kasey Kurtz, have a good show. Kasey Kurtz and Brian Middleton, thanks for listening to ESPN 690.
It's tournament time this month at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. The GOPO 500, a $500 no-limit hold'em tournament, will be on Saturday, November 19th at Best Bet Orange Park. Then the 10th Annual Turkey Bowl Deep Stack Bounty, a $200 no-limit hold'em tournament, will be on November 24th, Thanksgiving Day, at Best Bet Jacksonville at 7 p.m. There are also weekly no-limit hold'em tournaments going on at Best Bet St. Augustine every Wednesday and Saturday. Go to bestbetjacks.com to learn more.
It takes an amazing staff and incredible customers to be in business for over 80 years. This month of November, the Nimnick family, led by Billy and Lee, is reflecting with thanks and gratitude. Nimnick knows that how you treat people matters, and for over 8 decades, they have been humbled by your trust in their dealerships. My family has purchased 5 different vehicles with the Nimnick family, and you can feel the sincerity of the people and relationships. NimnickBuickGMC.com and on Phillips Highway, GMC. We are professional grade.
Boss, wait till you hear this.
Whoa, hang on. We just found 6 houses without Safe Touch security, so let me enjoy my good mood for a little bit, will ya?
Sorry, boss, but Safe Touch is running a buy one, get one free special on their 24/7 recording perimeter guard cameras.
A BOCO on cameras?
Yeah. Listen, get 5-star security surveillance with Safe Touch's 2-way communicator, free installation, and lifetime warranty. Plus, add a doorbell camera for just $99.
Do that, Lester Jackson! Why is he doing this to me?
Boss, it's just another reason we have the Crooksmas Golden Rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. So much for my good mood.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Monitoring agreement required with approved credit. Beat the holiday rush. Cameras are going fast. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Put their experience to work for you. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. We did in our house. Absolutely love it. Have had it for years. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Call today and save hundreds, even thousands, on a complete home solution for city and well water. Financing available with approved credit. And because the professionals at CGC Water are committed to being your go-to water experts, you can trust their master plumber with all your plumbing needs as well. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I've been a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment for more than 5 years now. CGC Water Treatment, your authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7 with supplies and solutions for every industry and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hello, it's me, the designer jeans in your closet. The back of your closet. What am I doing here? Would you keep caviar in the back of your fridge with the ketchup and old milk? Yeah, I don't think so. So, what happened to us? I mean, have you seen my label? I used to summer in the Hamptons, and now I'm stuck behind a pair of sweats. Sure, I never really fit you quite right, and one of my pockets is so small you can't even squeeze your hand into it. But it's all about the look. And I look good. I need to get back out on the scene so I can be seen. You know, going to fancy parties, getting expensive iced coffees, Sunday fun days, okay? So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create new jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson rejoined his teammates on the practice field today for the first time since being suspended 11 games for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. Coach Kevin Stefanski said they'll have a plan for Watson to start getting ready, and this week that will be an acclimation process, explains ESPN's Jeremy Fowler.
He could take some first-team reps at some point this week, but they won't overwork him. It will actually be a reversal of what they did in training camp, where Watson started out taking a bulk of the workload, and then they gave Jacoby Brissett more and more to get him ready for week one. Now Brissett's the guy, and they've got to ease Watson back in.
Watson is eligible to make his Browns regular season debut against Houston December 4th. Quarterback Taylor Heineke will start for the Commanders against the Texans on Sunday. Carson Wentz has been cleared to start throwing, but the team hasn't yet designated him to return to practice after having surgery to repair a broken finger on his throwing hand. Washington is in the thick of the NFC wildcard race at 5-5. NBA Maverick star Luka Doncic will not play tonight against Houston. He's getting the night off to rest after playing 40 minutes in last night's win.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive offers a great price and round-the-clock protection when bundling home and auto. It's one of those rare times where you could save money and get something great. Bundle today at Progressive.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
I'm Tamron Hall. Doesn't your family deserve the best? Eggland's best eggs. Classic, cage-free, and organic. Give you and your family more. More delicious farm-fresh taste, plus superior nutrition. Compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best provides 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat. These are no ordinary times, so why choose an ordinary egg? Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Gain presents a tale of longing and long-lasting scent. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Add Gain scent beads for an even longer lasting scent.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore.
Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and More. Bottles so delightful, whoa, whoa, whoa. Priced so amazingly low, low, low.
Find what you love what you find. Always lowest prices at Total Wine and More. Delivery available. Drink responsibly, B21.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
I don't know what that means yet. Haven't decided, but it's on the stream. How you doing? How you been? ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks Overtime. Now overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. I haven't done that as a while. The problem was I put on my headphones with the side that doesn't work. Take you inside my headphones here for a second. As Brian Middleton plays air guitar and just overall vibing. I don't know what that is. This is something right here on the stream. I know you can't see it if you're on the radio. I can't even describe it to you because I'm not sure what it is.
Hey, Kasey, like I've said before, man, it's called rhythm, man. My people tend to have that. Wakanda forever.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anyway, back to the headphones. Only one of my earpieces works. So if you ever watch the show on the stream, you're like, why doesn't he have both of his ears covered in his headphones? Because one doesn't work. So I just keep the one that works locked and loaded. And so when I started the show, I had the wrong one on my ear, so I had to flip sides because I couldn't hear nothing inside the business that you didn't care about. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. Brian Middleton is the broadcast on wearing a gray hoodie. You cold? It's like warm today.
When you walk outside, will it be warm?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I guess we'll find out in about 10 minutes when Mike Burrish gives us the weather.
That's fair. But I have shorts on.
That's fair.
So I'm halfway.
Anyway, Brian Middleton looking like he's preparing for snow. Kasey Kurtz with you with a short sleeve shirt on and shorts.
You want this? Because I know where you're about to go, you know.
Where am I about to go?
It's going to be a bit chilly. Well, I don't want to put your business out in the street unless you've already said it from 3 to 6 on Brent and Friends.
I haven't, but I'm not as concerned about putting my business in the street as you are. So,
well, not this piece of information.
I had to buy some jackets. I'm going to Chicago tomorrow.
Hey, man, keep your head down. Keep your head on a swivel, man. Okay?
Yes, I will be prepared.
If someone say, hey, man, you want to come down to the 63rd? You want to go to the O block? Just be like, no.
No, I'm
good, fam.
I get that.
A block, B blocks, nothing past the letter L. Can't do it.
I'm familiar with how things work. So this is funny. I said to my friend, I don't know if it's funny actually, but I said to my friend who I'm going with, Jenkins Jr., who used to make gambling picks, but then he sucked and we fired him.
You're rolling with Jenkins, okay.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, we're going to fly and we got to take the train to the hotel. Like, are you cool with that? Because then I started thinking, actually, I said, like, we're going to do this. I said, we're going to take the train, we'll go to the hotel. Because I used to live in Indiana, very close to Chicago. My dad used to work in Chicago. I've been in Chicago a lot, right? So I get it. But then it dawned on me, I was like, what if he doesn't want to take the train? What if he feels more comfortable Uber it? So I really didn't give him a choice. And then I backtracked. I was like, you're cool with it, right? Like, you ain't worried about the train? He's like, no, I'm not worried. He didn't sound confident.
Yeah.
So anyway, Brian, I'll keep my head on a swivel. And I guess you will hold it down without me.
Will do. Fun fact, first time in Indiana, did not enjoy it because we stopped in, like, the farmland. And
that's where I'm from.
It really smelled like it's the farmland.
Why were you in Indiana?
Because the way that my budget was set up as a kid, you know, couldn't just fly in. So had to drive in on a charter bus, me and the group. And so we stopped in Indiana. We rode through Indianapolis. I've been to Indianapolis since then, but Indianapolis very underrated. I don't know why people just like poo-poo Indianapolis. No,
it's rated.
No, it's not. It's underrated. Okay.
No, those are my people more than Chicago. Like, those are my people for real. It's definitely just rated.
Nah, underrated. Well, we'll agree to disagree. Anyway,
that's fair. We will.
I was in Indiana because we were going to Chicago. We were going to Chicago.
Oh,
just saying. Anyway, but yeah, that's
you took a bus from South Carolina to Chicago?
From Georgia.
Southern.
No.
I just started guessing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But from Georgia, yeah.
That does not sound fun. I just drove to Indiana recently. It was not a good time. And Chicago's still like 4 hours past where I was in Indiana.
Well, two things. I drove with a group of other people that, like same age, like it was a group. So it was cool, and I didn't have to drive. You know what I mean? So I just enjoyed.
You got to appreciate that.
I just enjoyed.
You got to appreciate it.
And they had a bathroom on the bus, too, which, hey, listen, one more fun fact, and then we can get into the show.
No, this is the show.
Try to use the charter bathroom first, okay?
Yes.
If it's 3 hours in, it's already been ruined by whomever, wherever, whatever. Okay, so if you got a boo-boo, if you don't have to boo-boo, make yourself boo-boo. If you don't have to pee, well, you know what? I'm sorry. We're going a little too far. But if you have to have a bodily function that you usually do in a bathroom, I would try to do it early on, even on a charter bus. Even though it does seem convenient, it's not. But especially with the number 2. Anyway, Kasey Kurtz.
That is fantastic radio right there.
Fun fact.
This right here, by the way, the next hour that we bring to you on ESPN 690, there will be some sports. Very minimal, if I had to guess. Right? We got trivia coming up. Is that correct? Are you smarter than Kasey Kurtz?
Are you smarter than Kasey Kurtz?
Yes.
You have for your defense?
Yes.
If we so choose to.
Oh, we will choose. But here's the thing, to our listeners, ladies and gentlemen. It's bye week here in Jacksonville. It's also Wednesday of bye week, right? So Wednesday is usually the day where we start to look forward. We have come off Monday Night Football. We've done the power rankings. We've done the disappointed fan bases, and we start to move forward. But there's nowhere to go this week, right? There's nothing to prepare for. There's nothing to scout. I'm going to the Orlando Magic and the Bulls game. We could scout that.
Could do that.
If we wanted to. Now explain this one to me. How in the world, for me to see Banchero play basketball, I had to go all the way to Chicago? I could have just gone to Orlando.
Yeah, you walked me through that. How'd you make that happen?
They just happened to be playing the Magic when we were going there. You know what I'm saying? What are the odds of that? Low. Say low.
Say low.
Thank you. Anyway, so that's the situation. That's what we got on the show today. A whole bunch of things that have nothing to do with anything. It's more or less the Seinfeld episode of this program. A whole show about nothing. That's this show.
One more fun fact. Wow, 3 fun facts in the A block.
I will take any fun fact you got, Brian.
Yeah, we're just trying to get to the break. I know. Look, never seen an episode of Seinfeld.
Really?
Seen just about every episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
That is weird.
Don't like Seinfeld at all. I don't hate it. It's one of those shows where it's just
if you don't like something at all, you kind of hate it.
No, you're indifferent. There's a middle with this right here, okay? You can actually hate something and be like, you know what I'm saying, and not be indifferent towards it. Like, if it's on the television, I wouldn't purposefully, like, go to my phone or find, like, a remote or something to turn it off. But it wouldn't catch my interest, right? Maybe I would break the streak of never seeing the episode. But Curb Your Enthusiasm, Kasey Kurtz, is some of the best television that's ever been made. I'm talking about history of television.
Really?
Okay. And I understand that Larry David's the same guy that basically created both, and helped, him and Seinfeld came together for Seinfeld.
Yes.
But Curb Your Enthusiasm, top notch. And it's been around since like 2000 or something, 99 or something, but they just wait like 2 or 3 years to do a new season. They got like 11 or 12 seasons.
I find it very mid.
Yeah, you would. I could see that. I understand your humor now.
I like Seinfeld.
I would think. Well, now that's the part that throws me off though, because your level of disrespectful humor, I wouldn't think that Seinfeld would quench that. I would think that Curb Your Enthusiasm would quench that. Honestly, Kasey Kurtz.
Maybe I just haven't given it a fair try.
Or maybe you have and you just don't like it.
It's
just like that.
Could be that.
Yeah, you're wrong, but I mean, to each
I
their
would
own.
say you're wrong.
Nah. Now,
no.
A lot of America from the 90s till now, whenever Seinfeld first came out, would probably agree with you. But all I'm saying is, that's my fun fact number 3, and I'll stop with the fun facts in the A block, Kasey Kurtz.
Nah, you know, as many fun facts as you got, we'll take them. As we continue on Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton, all right, I'll do some sports. I wasn't going to. I wanted to do the whole segment without sports, right? Because, listen, we appreciate you listening, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's just, a conversation that me and Brian Middleton are having in front of microphones, right? That's what this was. But I will tell you, the Washington Commanders have decided, with Carson Wentz coming back or not, that Taylor Heineke will play in the starting quarterback. So that feels like an obvious decision, but it is, some news. One that's not so obvious, the Saints are going to stick with Andy Dalton. I don't get that one.
What?
Yeah, I think I go back to Jameis. I judging by the drop, you agree.
Is it okay? Did they give a reason? They don't have to, right?
They don't have to.
Yeah.
It just says that they're they probably should. But we're going to go with Andy. We discussed it as a staff, and I got an opportunity to talk to both quarterbacks, and I feel like right now Andy is the direction we want to go.
That's what Dennis Allen said, huh?
That is literally what Dennis Allen said on Wednesday, which is today.
Well, good for him, man. Listen, they're not firing people in the NFL other than Frank Wright. Because if Josh McDaniel is still there, well, yeah, I don't count Matt Rule. I'm just being real with you. I know he got fired, but I'm just saying, they're clearly not getting fired around here. So, Dennis, first year.
It's true.
Trying to work things through it, so, make it happen.
Here's the thing, and this is always the argument for Jameis. You literally know exactly what Andy Dalton is. He's been the same thing for 10 years. Jameis, do you know for sure? I know that when it's bad, but when it's good, it's kind of good. He goes 30-30, and then he never really gets to play again. I still think there's some intrigue around Jameis Winston. I could be the only one. I'm definitely Dennis Allen doesn't feel that way.
Okay, yeah.
But, I don't know, man. The Saints are trash. I would put him in. Nothing to lose. But Red Rocket, I guess. Anyway, Deshaun Watson practiced today. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah. That's tough.
I'm letting that breathe. I thought you were about to go into a rant.
Nah. It's about that time for Deshaun Watson to come back. The Browns are significantly out of it. He rejoins practice. They're still saying that Jacoby Brissett's their guy right now. That will change when Deshaun becomes eligible and active. He is not eligible to play this week. It is not time, but he has opened up his practice window, or I should say his practice window has opened up. He didn't make that decision. That's just how that works, but, not great.
Yeah, hey, listen, man.
I don't want to see Deshaun winning. I think that's been very obvious if you listen to the show all summer.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
But, hey, man, Cleveland, if it works out for you, I don't want to rehash that conversation, but if it works out for them, and, at this point, what are they? Are they 3-6 as well?
Yes.
They aren't out of it mathematically because they're in there with the Steelers aren't, game busters. And then you got the Bengals and the Ravens. And that's where, you're really finding that particular struggle of trying to get back into the playoff picture when you got those guys in there, on top of the fact that the AFC East is just, loaded. And then, you got a whole Kansas City out there. And we ain't even talking about Tennessee. It's tough where they're at right now. But stranger things have happened. And if he catches fire, Kasey Kurtz, I'm telling you, man, the Cleveland front office will look at it and be like, hey, you know what? We made the right bet.
By the way, the Browns playing the Bills this weekend.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So
I saw a strange fact about the last time the Bills.
Is it a fun fact? Because that could be 4.
Nah, I can't remember it, so it won't be fun per se. But Jacoby Brissett, the last time that the Bills played in 2 feet of snow, Jacoby Brissett was the quarterback and the Bills lost, and now it's supposed to snow a whole bunch in this game with the Bills and the Browns.
Good stat.
And Jacoby Brissett is also the starting QB.
Huh.
So maybe that's another loss. A third straight loss?
That would be a disaster for the Buffalo Bills. Hey, this one we didn't get to on Brent and Friends, but I meant to. Saquon Barkley was mic'd up. I don't know if you saw this. Was mic'd up for the game, and there was an exchange between him and Daniel Jones where Daniel Jones' nickname has come to light. Did you see this?
No.
Well, apparently, the New York Giants are calling Daniel Jones, their quarterback, Vanilla Vic. I think that's good.
I'm not mad.
Vanilla Vic. A little disrespectful to Michael Vick, though. I don't know if Michael Vick's thrilled to see this.
Mike said, I jogged backwards faster than this boy ran forward. And
that's true.
I know Daniel Jones is he can get up and go. He'll embarrass you if you don't take the right angle on him now. So I get it, but yeah, Vanilla Vic, huh?
Yeah, Vanilla Vic. I like it. I would take that's a good one, I think.
What do they call Justin Fields? Vic squared? Lamar Jackson, Vic to the third? Speed-wise, what are we doing?
That's true.
I'll tell you what, so Michael Vick, I don't know how fast he was. I don't know what the number was, but I got to be real with you. I know what Justin Fields looks like. We've said it. I said it to you in the break yesterday, Kasey Kurtz. When we talk about Madden ratings, I don't know what his Madden ratings are when it comes to speed, acceleration, and whatnot.
Yes.
But more times than not, you can just go to 99, but I feel like he has 100. And then you start talking about, the gear just looks different. Same thing for Lamar Jackson. Listen, I put aside your feelings about Michael Vick and dogs. I'm not trying to bring that up, but there's going to be somebody that's like, well, I don't want to even hear. But listen, besides all that, I'm telling you right now, Mike Vick on the 2004 Madden, to this day, what's the drop at? To this day.
To this day.
Thank you, Deontay. I'm telling you right now, that's the fastest person I've ever seen on a video game. Like, even now.
Yes.
I'll go home and play Madden right now, and I'm telling you right now, and I'll tell you, Justin Fields, I'm like, it's not going to be the same, and I don't know what that's all about. Mike Vick, man, was a speedster as well. Anyway, what were you saying, Kasey?
I was just saying, how crazy is it? Back to what you were just saying there. Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson look like they comfortably pull away from DBs. Like, the accelerator, they just turn it on and they're gone. Like, isn't that crazy? To me, to anybody, it can't just be me, that not only are they the quarterback, they are the best athlete of anybody else on the field.
Yeah.
Like, the DB starts in front of Fields last week in that Lions game. And listen, I know angles, I get all of that. But Fields just blows by him, and it's like dude's stuck in the mud. Like, everybody looks like they're stuck in the mud when they run next to Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I love it at the same time. It's awesome.
It's something different, man. You ever wonder what it's like to be that fast?
Often. To be honest with you, often.
You ever wonder what it's like just to be fast?
Often.
Like, hey, man, I run a 4.45.
Yes.
Like, what?
I have been consistently the slowest person in anything that I've ever competed in athletically.
But see, that's why you was on the mound, tossing that heat, though. You was like, okay, I can't catch you.
And it's also why I drive 86 on the freeway, because I want to feel like I am fast.
You roll the windows down, though.
Yeah. Like, I just want to get, feel like I'm fast. But truly, I'm slow. Anyway, that right there was a segment of radio. Right there. Okay?
20. Yeah.
That is how you do it. What we just did. Whatever that was. And if you listen to it, we can't thank you enough. But this is how we do things here. Differently. That's what we pride ourselves on. We've got one member of the team dancing in the control room to the rhythm of the music, and me just trying to get us to break. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. We continue next. Are you smarter than Kasey Kurtz? Probably, but we'll find out for sure after the break.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Rather cool tonight under partly to mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures dropping into the mid-40s by morning, and a partly sunny, cool Thursday with highs near 65. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Right now, get 42% off everything in the store. Don't buy until you get our price. The Gun Show is back at the Maxwell Snyder Armory on Normandy Boulevard this Saturday and Sunday. Buy, sell, trade, and browse a huge selection of guns, knives, ammo, and more with concealed weapons classes twice each day. Doors open at 9 a.m. See you at the Gun Show.
Bank how and when you want to with Community First. Get free checking with rewards and free digital tools that make managing your money simple and life simply better. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
It takes an amazing staff and incredible customers to be in business for over 80 years. This month of November, the Nimnick family, led by Billy and Lee, is reflecting with thanks and gratitude. Nimnick knows that how you treat people matters, and for over 8 decades, they have been humbled by your trust in their dealerships. My family has purchased 5 different vehicles with the Nimnick family, and you can feel the sincerity of the people and relationships. NimnickBuickGMC.com and on Phillips Highway, GMC. We are professional grade.
In Florida, it's not if the storms are coming, it's when the storms are coming. And that's why you need the Chief. Jacksonville's Chief Meteorologist, Mike Burrish, with a proven track record of keeping local families safe. Rain, Heat, hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes. We get it all. Just more reasons why you need the Chief. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Backed by the First Alert Weather Team. Only on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
Do you have what it takes to become a successful entrepreneur? How much do you know about marketing, finance, and business planning? Are you interested in learning more? Then we invite you to take part in the Achieve Your Business Dream workshop offered by SCORE in conjunction with the Jags Chamber. Conducted over 4 consecutive weeks, this workshop provides invaluable information on a range of business-related subjects. If you'd like to learn more about how to enroll the next time this workshop is scheduled, or any of the others that SCORE offers, visit the Take a Workshop tab at jacksonville.score.org.
I've been asked 1,000 times, did you plan on becoming the largest injury law firm in the world? And the answer is no. When I started, there were just 2 of us. Today, Morgan & Morgan has almost 800 lawyers alone. No injury firm in the country has anywhere close to that. We set out to be focused on our clients and to have a commitment to trying cases and winning. And when you have those results at trial, you're able to settle most of your cases quickly and fairly. Reputation matters. We grew like this because we worked hard and so many former clients referred family and friends. And what I believe is the main reason is we delivered for our clients a lot. Hard work and client satisfaction was our plan. It worked. Hope is not a plan. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You have the power to make a difference for local kids in crisis at Daniel. In fact, right now, you have the power of 2. The Jesse Ball DuPont Fund is matching online donations made at danielkids.org throughout November. That means your donation will go twice as far in providing counseling for abused children, connecting neglected kids with foster families, and finding shelter for homeless teens. Double your impact in the community by making a donation at danielkids.org today.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
More exhilarating radio on ESPN 690. Segment 1 is in the books. Segment 2 is here, and we have a plan for it. Once again, am I on a win streak? What happened last time?
No, you lost last week. Or no, we didn't. We didn't do it last week. You lost the week before.
So technically, I was on a bye. So
Okay.
like, there's no streak now, right? Is that how that works?
No, you still lose.
Are the Jags on a losing
I'm about
streak?
to say if the Jags lose not this week but the following week, it's going to say L2.
Okay, it does. Yeah, all right. Great. So
there you go, Kasey.
So like coming off the bye, you make adjustments, right? You figure out what you're not good at, and you start to go on a second half run, right?
Okay.
Doesn't that make sense?
Optimism is key.
I have only beaten a few people.
Only. And you played a lot.
Some I've lost to multiple times.
Yeah. Chase still talking about that.
Chase needs
He's not talking about it. I'm
to
just saying.
stop.
He's probably not even worried about you now. Now you're like,
Now, all right. Listen, the point of the story is this. I have not won as much as I thought I would. I now have the opportunity to start a win streak coming off the bye. I have no idea who I am going against. But Brian Middleton, do you like my chances today?
I would say this, Kasey. I believe in your chances because I see how you fight to get to certain levels in your life, you know? And anybody with that kind of grit, anybody with that kind of fortitude has a chance. So
I actually
you got a chance.
Thought about it. I lost to Devin too, so technically I'm on like a pretty good streak.
Devin smoked you.
Devin smoked me.
I can't invite him back for a while.
By the way, bragged about it to other people in the building because Julie from promotions is telling me it's the Pythagorean theorem. I'm like, what are you talking about, Julie? She's like A plus B. I'm like,
No
what?
way. No
I
way.
swear it's a real life.
way.
Aaron was there when it happened. Ask Aaron Schechter.
I'm gonna ask Aaron.
It is
no
real
way
life.
Julie came to you about the bonus question. Okay. Anyway,
Disaster.
I got to hold off on asking Devin again because
he whooped me, dog.
That you don't want your self-esteem to be
it was
broken.
shot after that.
But let me do this, Kasey. Let me give the proper intro. I started with Devin, and let me continue on my streak right here. Your opponent, Kasey Kurtz, does not hail from this building.
Okay.
But he does hail from the United States of America, okay? Proud American.
Gives me no hints.
A proud man from the state of Florida. He's not repping the Bronx. He's not repping Des Moines. He's repping
Iowa?
Duval.
Okay.
Jacksonville, home of the Jags, home of the Icemen, home of the Giants. And he said, just because I rep the Giants, I'm going to be a Giant in trivia myself. Everybody, I want you to clap it up. Get on your feet for Marcus J. Wilson. Marcus Wilson, how you doing, man? How you doing, man?
Listen, I'm here to kick butt and chew chewing gum. I'm all out of chewing gum.
Nah, you can't mess it up.
Can't do it twice.
You gotta work on your promo. You gotta work on that. All right.
I feel so much better.
I messed it up. I missed promo class.
Vince McMahon would have been like, nah, go ahead. Hey, wrap him up right now. He's not getting no kind of push. All right.
Brian Middleton, correct me if I'm wrong. I beat Marcus Wilson one time already.
You did. Granted, it was in a different. It was during the summertime, but yeah, you
really got to start using this cowbell more often.
Yeah, I didn't even realize what that was. I was like,
we
okay.
never use it. It's been sitting here as long as I've been here. We never use it like live on the air. Granted, it's probably loud as heck on the air. But anyway, I'm going to keep the cowbell handy.
All right, guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure. I'm still going to give you the instructions like I'm the referee for this heavyweight bout right here. Okay,
Play
so
along
guys,
in the chat if you want or in your car. Just say it out loud.
Here we go. Here are the rules, guys, okay? 1 point per correct answer. 1 guess per question. You don't have to wait for the question to be completed to answer. If your op gets their guess wrong, I will finish and or repeat the question before you have to answer. Protect yourself at all times, gentlemen. Do you understand? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, man. Keep your hands up, Marcus. All right, here we go. First up, OKC's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is currently averaging 31.5 points per game this season, which is tied for 5th best in the NBA. Where did he hone his Canadian talents in college?
Kentucky.
There we go. Keep track of your points.
Marcus, where you at, dog? That's an NBA question. I'm rolling you.
Right. That was a good one. I'm sitting here like, what? Those one and done guys, it kills me. Okay, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Next up.
I have 1 point.
Which recently Grammy-nominated rapper said this in a song called Bless? And let me get my voice right. He got 99 problems and the biggest one is me. He got all these little and the biggest one is me.
This is the second time I thought you were going to do it, and I was so like, dump, and then I got thrown off. Sorry.
Do you need me to do it again?
Yes, because now I can actually focus.
He got 99 problems, and the biggest one is me. He got all these little and the biggest one is me.
Glorilla?
Woo, there we go. She got deep voice when she rapped, dog. I don't even think I got his voice.
Yeah.
But you got it.
What was the answer?
Yeah, Glorilla.
I don't know who that person is.
Well, okay. Get on TikTok or something, man. YouTube.
Okay.
Turn on the radio.
I'll
turn on Apple Music. Okay, here we go. Odyssey. Next up, Kansas City's tight end Travis Kelce is currently 6th in receptions so far this season. Name the last tight end to lead the league in receptions for an entire NFL season.
It feels
Gronk.
Okay. Yep.
I'm sorry. What?
Gronk.
All right. It feels like it should have been. So I will go with Tony Gonzalez. Feels like it was too long ago, but who else could it have been? Dallas Clark, maybe with Peyton Manning. Who else is a good tight end? Is it recent?
I mean, it's all recent, man. When you look at
Tony Gonzalez.
Okay. Tony Gonzalez, 2004 with the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay. Next up.
Oh, where's the cowbell?
2-1. Next
Yeah.
up. This food comes from Spanish and Portuguese cuisine. It consists of fried dough sprinkled with cinnamon sugar and is usually dipped in dulce de leches, hot chocolate.
Churros!
Churros! Oh, man.
3-1. All right, next up.
Yeah.
Jaguar Foye Oluokun is currently sitting top 5 in solo tackles in the NFL. He's been everywhere this season, guys. But name the last Jag to finish top 5 in solo tackles for a season.
Puslesny.
Good guess, sir. Good guess.
By the way, Paul Puslesny will be on Jaguars All Access tonight. It's at String Sports Brewery, so you can go out and see him in the next 30 minutes or so. What's the question?
What? Name the last Jag to finish top 5 in solo tackles for a season.
Is it a trick? It feels like a trick.
If you don't know the answer, everything feels like a trick. Ooh, that's a word for somebody out there.
I want to say this so bad, but I don't think it's right.
It's your favorite player. It's one of your favorite players ever. I don't know if that's going to throw you off. Don't mind what I just
think
said.
I know. Darn.
One of my favorite players ever. Now I'm way thrown
What?
off.
No, scratch that.
Telvin Smith.
It is one of your favorite players. I forgot. Okay. On and off the field. Here we go. All right.
Nope, I'm not clapping.
He's not clapping. All right, guys. Let's try this again right here. All right.
I have 4 points. Marcus, you're getting rolled.
All right. Hey, Marcus.
Not another audio question.
Yeah, Marcus, if you got your headphones in, you may want to make sure you pull them away just a bit. I got to get these levels right.
Heads up on the radio.
Okay.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
Name this country singer who had this song that went gold back in 2018. And here we go, guys.
Hold her like a trophy tonight. She's decorating my car, soon she'll be breaking my heart. She's 2 wild horses to be all mine. I'll be a beast of burden on borrowed time. She's gonna rip off any kind of label. She's into leaving those strings untied, keeping it tax-free under the table. She might only be mine tonight. That's alright. That's okay.
All right, guys. I played that for like 30 seconds.
I got nothing.
Kasey Kurtz. I got nothing is the wrong answer.
I got nothing.
I don't know.
It's a karaoke favorite of mine as well.
Apparently, you were vibing, dog.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not Brantley Gilbert.
It is. It's not. It's not. But like The Weeknd. I like that song. Yeah. Michael Ray. Michael Ray, Kasey. This is okay.
I wouldn't have got there.
Okay, so what is it right now? 3-1 still?
I got 4, dog.
All right.
4-1. 4-1.
He knows he's getting rolled. You heard him. Anyway.
Marcus, it's okay, man. You still got time for a comeback, okay?
Oh, no, it's going down. It's going down.
Here we go. The Alabama Crimson Tide look like they will miss the college football playoffs this year. Okay? But they've been in the playoffs every year except one since it started back in 2015. Which season were they not a part of it?
2018.
Judging by that answer, he was close. I'm going 2019.
It was a 2019
Ain't no way.
season. Yeah, it was Joe Burrow and, the boys. They won that. Yeah.
Joe Shiesty, baby.
Yeah. Okay, next up. Annapolis is the capital of what state?
Huh?
Annapolis.
Maryland. Marcus, dog.
I didn't even hear it. Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
It's all good. Come on.
All right. Hey, there's always a tiebreaker. If Kasey's a true competitor, he'll let you jump back in on that. All right, next up.
Is this it? Oh,
no.
Okay.
The NFL has had 8 different MVPs in the past 10 seasons. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and Peyton Manning are 4 of them. Can you name the other 4?
Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and who?
Peyton Manning.
Peyton? Okay.
Okay, guys, I'm going to count it down.
Yep.
Actually, I do have a countdown.
You do have a countdown.
While I'm finding that, you guys figure it out.
I mean, I got 1, but that's not going to get me nothing, is it?
Okay. No, I mean, start, maybe.
Well, no, because then I'm giving him 1, too.
Marcus, do you have an answer?
I got a couple, but I'm going to let Kasey go first.
Well, I know we have the same one.
Let him go first. Go first, Kasey. Be a competitor, man. You're up 18,000 to nothing.
We got Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay.
We have some other players. There's no doubt. I have no idea. Okay. Did Matt Ryan win?
Oh, well, you just gave that one to Marcus.
I was still going.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. No, you got 2 of them, Marcus. You got an answer for the other 2?
All right, give me the question one more time, please. Host, sir, please, sir.
The NFL has had 8 different MVPs in the past 10 seasons. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and Peyton Manning are 4 of them. Can you name the other 4?
Okay, he gave me 2, so I'm going to put those in the bank. I'm going to say, man, that's a good question. I will say, did you say Andrew Luck already?
Are you saying Andrew Luck?
I'm saying Andrew Luck.
Okay. All right, guys, we'll move on to the next one. I feel like that's one that's going to come back that needs to be researched a bit. But that is, yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get one more. There's one that I didn't think you guys would get, but I'm not going to say that one either. The other one that I thought you guys were going to get is Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
But the other one would be the tough one. So
Is it still a quarterback?
I'm moving on to the next one, Kasey.
It's got to still be a quarterback, yeah.
All right. Final regular season question. The globular organ that is capable of receiving visual images which are then carried to the brain.
Did Carson Wentz win? No, he got hurt.
Yeah,
There you go, Marcus. Way to go, man. All right, man. So what is that, Kasey? How many points do you have?
6. I'll put it all together.
6? Man, you got 4.
I think he got 6 now, Marcus. Okay, anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Either way, this tiebreaker is worth 5 points, whether he has 4 or 6, all right? So listen, Marcus, you still have a shot here, because Casey's a true competitor.
Matthew Stafford. Was he the one?
Yeah, that's wrong. All right, here's the tiebreaker, okay, guys?
Who was it?
This 2004 American sports comedy stars Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller. The plot follows a group of misfits who enter a sports tournament in Las Vegas to save their local gym.
Dodgeball.
There you go.
Oh my God!
Oh man, you know what? You got it. You got it. Wow.
Play the happy music. Yes.
And when Kasey wins, Marcus,
I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt today too.
Yeah, he's playing. What's this? Legend of the Sith.
We got Darth Vader on.
Darth Vader. I'm sorry, Marcus, man. I wanted to play your happy music. Much more joyous, but when the Empire Strikes Back in a way that Kasey did this round, I can't do anything but give him the floor. So Kasey, Lamont Kurtz, the floor is yours. Speak to the people, speak to your opponent.
It was just a matter of time. Get back on the winning track. You know what I'm saying? Things were going bad for a while, not doing well. Adrian Peterson.
It's Adrian Peterson, you're right. Yes.
Huh.
I knew it was a running back, but I couldn't figure out who it was. I was going to say Derrick Henry.
That's actually a good one, but it wasn't. Marcus, you tried. That's all I got for you.
That wasn't a try. Don't worry. I'll come back next time.
That's what I like to see in you, Marcus, right there. He's going to come back again next time. I hope he gets some more points, though. Marcus, man, one quick note before we go to break, Kasey, before you take us to break. Marcus will be joining me on Thursday and Friday to help with the show while you are calling in, but you are doing it from Chicago. So, Marcus, we'll talk again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. We on.
All right, man.
Sounds like you got things planned out, Brian Middleton.
I don't know about that, but
hey,
we'll have a show.
Look at me. Look at me. Back in the winning column.
It looks good on you, Kasey.
How about it? You really come up with some random stuff, though. I do appreciate you. Capital of whatever, Maryland?
Yes, Kasey, one of the 50 states. Let me tell you what was random.
That was random.
Random. How many state capital questions have I asked you in trivia now? It's about near every week at this point. You understand some of the things that are going to happen.
Yeah. Dodgeball was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one. I felt good about it after the Pythagorean theorem didn't work for you.
That was a Pythagorean theorem.
Random people that don't even listen to the show know the answer, though. I appreciate Julie for that. I really got to get in contact with her.
Okay, we've established that she paid attention in 9th grade.
9th? 6th?
Was it 6th?
I
wasn't paying attention.
I typed in math questions for 6th graders.
Oh.
It could be 9th, though. I'm sure they go back over it in 9th grade.
Yeah, they got to. Anyway, I'm a winner. Once again.
Congrats, man.
For your defense on the other side, is that what we got?
Let's do it.
On the other side, for your defense, overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. We'll be right back.
Koala insulation.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carrie.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Fall is finally here, and hopefully so are milder temperatures. But don't wait to insulate your home. Take advantage of 20% savings off our summer rates and start saving on those utility bills now and all those hot summers to come.
Give us a call and set up your free evaluation at 679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinsky. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8214. 904-664-8214. That's 904-664-8214.
Dave Binion with Zero Res. Let us help you get ready for the holidays. Book today and Zero Res will clean your carpets for only $49 a room. Plus, we will give you 25% off your tile and grout cleaning. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties, Hubbard House provides free, confidential emergency shelter and services. Call our 24-hour hotline at 904-354-3114.
It takes an amazing staff and incredible customers to be in business for over 80 years. This month of November, the Nimnick family, led by Billy and Lee, is reflecting with thanks and gratitude. Nimnick knows that how you treat people matters, and for over 8 decades, they have been humbled by your trust in their dealerships. My family has purchased 5 different vehicles with the Nimnick family, and you can feel the sincerity of the people and relationships. NimnickBuickGMC.com and on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Anyone with a pet knows that they are truly a member of the family. I know my family and I would go above and beyond for our black pug Arlo, which is what the best veterinary practices understand. People need to be able to trust whose hands they are putting their pets into. So when they're looking for a new veterinary practice, one of the first things they do is look at the practice's online reviews. At Cox Media Group, we help ensure that your online reputation and reviews are strong. So let's embark on improving your digital reputation. Head to cmg.com to find out more so we can see how Cox Media Group can help you boost your website's traffic.
Hey, it's Brent Mortno from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at BrentASJax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Some shocking revelations in the break in the world of famous people that are not us that I cannot tell you about.
Sure can, but I tell you what.
But just know things are happening with famous people that have me and Brian Middleton taking notice, but mostly Brian Middleton. That's all I got for you. That's the tease of all teases.
You know what I mean?
I've left people confused.
Excited. You hear me? I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I can't even say anything else. You're right.
Yeah. Man, what a moment we just found out in the break. What's crazy is people could go try to look this up. They'll never find it.
They won't know what we're talking about.
They won't have any idea. No
clues out there.
It has nothing to do with anything we've ever mentioned on the show in a year.
That's fair.
Yeah. Anyway, something we have mentioned on the show in a year is For Your Defense. It's a good little segment.
That was great, Kasey.
Thank you. Let it ride. Stay with it. Let it ride. And fade it down. Here we go for your defense. On a Wednesday, Brian Middleton. What do we have? What are we starting with?
Well, you know what, Kasey? You're so good at these.
Wait.
What?
So this is a moment that just happened. This is the first time since I've worked here.
Yeah.
I don't know if the show sucks now or what, but we've been on the air since 3 o'clock, and we just received our first chat.
Really?
We did not get a single chat through Brent and Friends on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Not Twitter, Twitch. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We just got our first chat of the day. And I believe it's Irfan.
Young Irf. My dog.
So there we go. Who says, by the way, Ronaldo ?
I thought, no, that's not it. But, hey, you know.
Is that not what it says? Can I not read?
No. I'm telling him, I think he's guessing, right? Is he guessing about the famous stuff that we're talking about?
Oh, could be.
I presume that's what he was. Anyway, Kasey. So
did they get rid of him? Did I miss it? Like, I know they don't want him, but did he actually leave?
Got a whole phone right there and a computer.
Wouldn't that be wild if we're just talking about some random celebrity and then, anyway, sorry. Hey, by the way, Sandy Alcantara just won the Cy Young. We did that on one of our bits. Anyway.
Yeah, sorry. I believe I called it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say all that. All right, we're distracted. Let's do it.
Yeah, we got my 5 minutes. All right, so Kasey, your client accused of probably not getting a Christmas card from the Indianapolis Colts this year. And actually, there probably would be the person that would stop that Christmas card from being sent, okay? Defend your client, actually, Jeff Saturday, when after Super Bowl winning coach turned NFL analyst Bill Cowher went in on him on his show, I believe this past Sunday. I believe we have evidence to submit. What's Exhibit A, Kasey Kurtz? Let me see if I can get that up for you so you can listen to what was said about your client.
The guys that were there in training camp, the guys that were there early in the morning and late at night, the guys that have gone through the first 6 weeks in that building, guys like Gus Bradley, Scotty Montgomery, John Fox, don't they deserve the opportunity for an owner to hire a coach who's never been an assistant at the college level or the pro level and overseeing a lot of candidates that are qualified for that job, as we see in Steve Wilks, an opportunity to build a resume? It's a disgrace to the coaching profession. And regardless how this thing plays out, what happened in Indianapolis is a travesty.
Kasey Kurtz, defend your client Jeff Saturday from this slander, from this hater, and go.
I would like to submit a piece of evidence as well, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have the ability to play it, but do you have the Urban Meyer laugh available?
I can have it for you. Keep going.
Yeah, so that's all I got. There it is. That's it. That's my only defense. It's that simple. It's that simple. Yeah, it's an upsetting situation. I get it. You spend your whole time. I don't agree with the move either, right? Most people don't. But Jeff Saturday, he's Urban Meyer laughing all the way to Victory Monday. Get this. Here's what's crazy. The Colts just got back to work today because they had Victory Monday from Jeff Saturday. Play the laugh again.
Did he say John Fox and then Gus Bradley?
They're both on the staff.
No. I know that.
That's Jeff Saturday laughing at y'all.
Well done, Kasey.
Yep. Anyway. All right. Here's what I got for you, Brian Middleton.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go to your wheelhouse because I've, on multiple occasions, done you very dirty on this segment that we do and ask you to defend things that I shouldn't be asking you to defend.
No, you should. That makes the segment even better.
This one, though, is right in your wheelhouse.
Maybe.
And I don't even know who I want you to defend. I guess I will go with whoever is deciding who's playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James, Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, whoever's making the call. That's who you're defending because the Lakers are terrible. Okay. They're only better than one team in the West, and that's the Houston Rockets, who are absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
The players on the Lakers are not good enough.
Okay.
They have one good player and a bunch of other dudes that borderline should be playing at Bailey's with Brian Middleton. So, Brian Middleton, I want you to defend the roster moves that whoever is running the show in LA made.
Wow, that's a good one. Defend the roster moves. So listen, man, when you are stuck with bad decision after bad decisions, they compound, and that's what we're seeing right now. Bad decision by placing your bet on Anthony Davis as being a guy who could remain healthy. Shout out to Lamar Stokes, who told me this back in 2016, and I didn't believe him. Bad decision to bring in Russ when you needed more shooters and you could have got guys like Buddy Hield. Sounds crazy, but look at the team now. So listen, I'm not going to defend those past decisions, but what you got to do at this point, Kasey, and I'll wrap it up really quick, you got to try to make something out of nothing. And when you got the GOAT player, who's not the best player in the league now, but a GOAT player, and you got someone who, Anthony Davis, who just scored like 35 and grabbed like 17 or 18 rebounds, you got to be able to try to just piece it together and hope that the other professionals on the team, whoever goes out with those guys, can actually learn how to shoot on the fly because they're getting paid millions of dollars to do so. Kasey Kurtz. Let me give you your next one, and this will take us to or do you want to? We got like a minute.
Yeah, give it to me.
All right. Really
Actually,
quick. No?
I got one for you.
What?
I got another one for you.
All right, here we go.
I don't know if you've seen this. The Golden State Warriors are apparently bad, and they've now sent James Wiseman back down to the wherever. What's the G League? Is that the minors? Yeah. They sent him to the G League, right? No, get out of here. James Wiseman was the second overall pick in the league a couple of years ago. And I know that the Warriors usually make the right decisions, but you got to defend somebody for picking James Wiseman instead of players like LaMelo Ball, Tyrese Halliburton, Cole Anthony, who all went after James Wiseman. And go.
James Wiseman is uber young, one. And two, I think that going to the G League doesn't mean that you are a lost cause. Listen, for whatever reason, it's not working out. He's been injured. And honestly, it's one of those things where you're trying to fit into a system where you have a guy like Steph and Clay and Draymond, and then Jordan Poole is kind of fitting in, but he fits that style a bit more. When you're talking about a big man on a team that predicates themselves on playing small ball, you got to try to find your spot. So going to the G League isn't a death sentence. This kid will still be good, and maybe he has a change of scenery. Maybe he gets traded, or maybe he comes back even better, and they find a way to fit him together.
All I'm saying, bro.
Just saying.
LaMelo Ball looking mad nice.
Oh, he is.
Halliburton looking mad nice.
Not mad at it.
I mean, and again, I know those are guards that don't fit what they do. Isaiah Stewart ain't bad. Played a lot of games last year. James Wiseman, I don't know about him, bro, but you defended him and that organization. Well done. Well done. Back-to-back times. I don't know if you're right, but well done. The point of the story is this. The show is over. We be Wednesday. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. We have to roll. Brian Middleton will hold you down on Thursday and Friday. I'll be out. I'll call in when I can. But for Brian Middleton, the broadcast on, I am Kasey Kurtz. Have a great Wednesday night, everybody. Brian, we'll talk to you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I want to eat a spicy chicken in my Tesla. Is it too much to ask?
Visit your First Coast Acura dealers for jaw-dropping